All right, what is going on, everyone? What is up? What is up? What is up? Happy end of the month, February 28th, man. We are ending the month of February and ending this and starting a new month. So, again, what's up, everyone? Elliot here from MovieFiles. Very, very excited to be here with you all. This is our TV and movie breakdown where we highlight all the new releases coming to theaters, streaming on various platforms, your Netflixes of the world, your Hulus, your Amazons, your Disney Plus, and breaking down all the exciting stuff that I'm looking forward to, chopping it up with you all to see what you're excited for, and just having a good old time, man. We've been doing this for quite a while. I didn't do it the last few months just because of some timing, and plus a lot of big stuff wasn't coming out at the beginning of the month, but we're gearing up, man. Let me tell y'all something right now. This month of March is crazy, man. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to, and we will be breaking it all down. So just a couple things to get out of the way first. Every time we go live, we have such a good time, and I'm kind of long-winded when I talk, so sometimes these lives go a little bit longer than anticipated. So with that said, we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to try to keep this as structured as possible, still having fun, interacting with you all, interacting with your comments. So the way we're going to kind of handle today's live stream is the first part of this live stream, I'll be doing something I've been doing the last few months, which is kind of doing a tier list of all the films and shows I watched for the previous month, which was obviously we're still in February, but I'm going to piece that out and make it like a separate video. So we're going to go over that for a brief, 5-10 minutes or however long it takes me to go through the films that I watched and ranking them. And then I'm going to respond to any comments you all have regarding the thoughts on the films I saw for February, what films you all saw, and we'll, chop it up for a couple minutes there. And then we'll pivot over into the live event, which is going over I'm like telling y'all, it's a lot of stuff to go over in March, and I'm so excited. It's going to be a crazy, crazy week. So I'm going to pivot over to that, and I'm going to break it up into sections as I normally do. But the way I'm going to handle it is I'm going to break it up into what's coming out in theaters, run down the list, give you my, what I'm looking forward to, who's making the film, who's in the film. And I'm just going to go through that. And then I'm going to have like a little section, like 5-7 minutes where you all can say, hey, yeah, I didn't know that was coming out. Or Elliot, did you know this was coming out? And we'll, talk about that for a bit. And then I'll pivot over to what's coming on Netflix and do the same thing I did for the movies and then do that for Amazon. So I'm going to try to keep this about 30 minutes of my rundown. And then the rest of the time, we'll probably try to go for an hour and 15. We're going to spend, again, reacting to your comments, reading and interacting with, what you're excited for and things of that nature. So that's how I knock on wood. That's how we're going to probably do it tonight. But we always have a good time. And again, I appreciate all you all dropping in and showing some love and joining me live. I love doing this. And shout out to the replay too. So again, I'm going to piece out two of these things, which is the tier list at the beginning, and then I'm going to piece out the kind of breakdown and put those out in the next few days. So with all that being said, before we get into it, man, can you cut it out, Thor? I would appreciate it, man. This dog. Before we get into it, let me see who we got in the building, man. My man Justin, what's up, man? We got Adam in the building. What's going on, Adam? We got Zia saying what's up to myself and everyone in the chat. What's up, Zia? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. My man Adam or Justin said, man, can't wait. Can't believe February's over. My birthday to come and gone already. Oh, was your birthday in February? I didn't know that. Or maybe I just didn't remember. But happy belated birthday to you, Justin. Mine was in February as well. So shout out to you, my friend. Let's see. Adam is saying, love seeing your channel grow, bro. Oh, well, thank you, Adam. You're a part of that. So I appreciate you being a part of that growth and that journey. So thank you. It's been a while. Yeah. We're going to have a good time with that. And I want to do more tier lists this year, like ranking movies and all this stuff. So yeah, I love having a good time with that. Hey. My man Andrew in the building, my man Kevin in the building. Good evening. JB showing some love. Awesome. Yeah, happy Mando Eve. Yeah, we'll definitely get into Mando. So with that said, like I said, we're 7 minutes in. We got 17 people watching live. Thank you all for tuning in. Before we get it started, do your boy a favor. If you're having a good day, or if you're not having a good day, but you're happy to be here, let's hit that thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And also share this video, man. If you guys have an Instagram or Twitter account, and people that love to talk about movies and shows, go ahead and share it with them and get them in the conversation. And then those watching the replay, if you can do the same, I would greatly appreciate it. Like, share, comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel, man. We talk about a lot of good stuff, live content, pre-recorded content, long form, short form. We got it all over here. So, but yeah, man, this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's get into our first topic at hand, which again, I'm going to be breaking down and going over a tier list, and that is the movies and shows that I watched in the month of February. So again, I didn't do this last month. I saw like almost 13 films in the month of January, which again is kind of a slower month, but again, I didn't have the time to do it in February. So I watched and reviewed and covered, I think this is a total of 11 or 12 different movies and shows, and we're going to rank those here. But before we do so, we got a super chat from Bias Hacker here with a $20 super chat. I don't know if you left a comment there, but thank you so much. Number one, appreciate you being here. And then number two, showing the support in that matter, man. I really appreciate that. So shout out to you. I thank you so much for the support in that way. And let's have some fun, man. But again, shout out to you with the super chat there. So that's a good way to kick things off with all you lovely folks. So, but again, thank you. So, all right, so getting into this tier list, again, I think I have, if I can count right, 1, 2, 3, about 11 projects, and all these different movies and various shows are on my channel as far as full-length reviews, so you can get my full thoughts on it. But let's get into that tier list here. And should I make it bigger? Should I make it smaller? Let's make it bigger so y'all can see it. So let me go over here. So starting off with TV shows that I watched in the month of February, and this is kind of a carryover from the beginning of the year, and that is The Last of Us. We've been watching that for the last, as an audience, for 7 weeks now. So 7 weeks. And in the month of February, I believe they dropped episodes 4, 5, and 6, and the show is still fantastic. Again, if you all watch my live watch parties, and if you all have joined the after shows, I've really been enjoying the show. There's been 2 episodes that I haven't been the biggest fan of, which was episode 4 and the most recent episode. But besides that, it's still an excellent show, and I'm really enjoying the character development. I'm really enjoying the adaptation of the video game. So I'm gonna go ahead and put The Last of Us for right now. Just based on the episodes we watched in February, I'll still give it an A. I'll still give it an A. And of course, once we get to the finale, we'll see where it ends up on that list when that month comes, which I believe it'll be wrapping up next month, or I should say the month of March. So with that, that brings us to our next show, which there isn't a ton of people chopping it up as much as they do with The Last of Us, but that is Servant. If you all have been following the channel, I've been covering that show since season 1, the M. Night Shyamalan show, which if you guys never heard of and this is your first time hearing about it, it's basically about a family, the Turner family, Sean, Dorothy, and her brother by the name of Julian. There is a situation in hand where they lost their, I think at the time, it was like 4 or 3-month-old baby Jericho. And by lost, the baby passed away. And in order to handle this grieving process, the wife of the family, Dorothy, she takes on this like doll, but she treats the doll as if it's a real doll. They hire this nanny, and let's just say the doll becomes an actual baby. So I'll just leave it at that if you guys haven't heard about it. But it's 4 seasons in. This is the last season. Last month, they gave us 3 or 4 episodes, and I've really been enjoying that journey. So as far as Servant goes for me, it's a B tier. Again, suspense, it's thrilling. There are some prolonged storylines, some unanswered questions that's been around since the first season that can be a little bit frustrating, but I think the show does such a great job of displaying how people handle trauma, how they suppress that trauma, and sometimes how that trauma comes out can be very negative. So, and then plus there's a supernatural element to the show involving the nanny and the baby and other things that gets involved. There's a cult that's trying to catch her. There's a religious angle about the show. So again, I've been watching it for the last 4 seasons. I've really been enjoying it, and we're coming down to the final few episodes. Episode 8 premieres on Friday, and then we have 9 and 10. So it's only 3 episodes left, but hopefully my little sales pitch for those that never heard of Servant before, you might give it a watch. I recommend it. So that is a B for me. And then last month we got the premiere of Netflix's You Season 4 Part 1. Now, as I'm recording this, literally today I just got done watching Part 2, and that's under embargo, so I can't talk about that much, but I'll just say you're going to want to watch it. I'll just say that. But as far as Part 1 goes, I'm gonna put this I'm at a B or a C. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a B because this is a show. I give myself like 2 or 3 shows a year where it's just like it's normally not a show I would gravitate towards because it's kind of a bunch of drama and there's a bunch of like YA, still not YA because they're all adults, but it kind of is. First off, the show was originated on Lifetime. The first season, Netflix picked them up, and then they continued to do seasons 2, 3, and now 4, and I think they'll probably continue it, but it's a show that I normally wouldn't gravitate towards, but it's one of those shows. If you all haven't heard about You, if you can see the little thumbnail, that's Penn Badgley. He was a part of Gossip Girls, and he's been a part of other projects, but I think he's mostly known for being a part of Gossip Girls. But now him being Joe Goldberg, this is probably like his well-known performance and character that he's played. But it's basically about a guy who stalks women. He falls in love with these women, and then he kind of creates this fantasy in his head where he has to protect this woman at all costs. So if there's someone bothering the person he's in love with or potentially threatening them, Joe takes upon himself to, let's just say, eliminate that person. So we've been watching it for, it's been on this 4-year journey of him getting away with stuff and doing all this crazy stuff. And to me, it reminds me a lot of like Dexter. If you all used to watch Dexter, where you're never really rooting for the villain. You're not really sympathizing with the villain, but you're just so intrigued to see how the hell are they going to manage to get themselves out of this particular situation, which again, there's a lot of bodies in these last 4 seasons that Joe was a part of making that happen. So, part 1 was really interesting. Again, if you all haven't seen it, I don't want to give too much away, but he goes from New York to now he's in London because he's chasing a girl from season 3. And then he meets this group of rich, privileged people. And then the cool thing about this first part is there's a killer that's stalking Joe. So that is a pretty interesting scenario. And I really did have a good time with part 1. And again, I just finished part 2 earlier today, shot all the reviews for it. So keep an eye out for that because part 2 will be dropping on March 9th. So that is I can't wait to talk to you all about that. But that I'm going to go ahead and give, like I said, part 1 of You, season 4, a B for me. And then the last thing on our list here, as far as another Netflix show and another show that is I'm not necessarily demographic, and that is Outer Banks, y'all. And as you can see, I'm giving that a B. I'm completely not the demographic because this is a YA show involving romance and involving teenagers falling in and out of love. It's not like CW levels of teenage love, but it can get a little bit like, this is for the kids. This part of the show is a little bit for the younger audience, but either way, putting that aside, and I do enjoy some of the romance, John B and Sarah and all the stuff that takes place in this most recent season, which they just finished season 3 of Outer Banks. But the thing that really intrigues me about this show is it's a treasure show, man. And it has like this very, not Indiana Jones, but there are, especially this most recent season, there are some of those influences when they're looking for, there's gold involved. The most recent season involved going to El Dorado. So you would never imagine this YA show has this whole other element of action, suspense, there's thrilling elements. There's people there. It gets dark sometimes. So again, it's not for everyone, but I really enjoy these characters. Again, John B, Sarah, Pope, my man JJ, Key. The Cameron family is crazy. John B's dad, who, if you watch season 1, was supposed to be, he wasn't supposed to be around, but now he pops up. So I had a good time with that season. I actually put out a rankings of all 3 seasons that I shared on the YouTube channel that you all can check out. So I enjoyed this most recent season of Outer Banks, season 3, and they actually announced that there will be a season 4 in the works. So I'm looking forward to that. So those are the shows I watched for the month of February. Again, to round it out was The Last of Us, Servant, season 4, which is wrapping up soon, You, season 4, part 1, and then Outer Banks, season 3. So now let's pivot over to the movies, and starting off with a really small movie that didn't get a lot of attention, but I think it premiered at a film festival last year, but that is Baby Rudy. How do I describe this? So you have this couple. I can't remember the young lady's name, the actress that plays our main character, but she was in the Portrait of a, was it Fire Portrait? I can't remember. It was a film that won a bunch of awards a few years ago, but she's our lead. Her husband's played by Kit Harington. Shout out to Jon Snow. They are having their first kid. Our main lady, our main character, is a huge influencer. So her life will be changing because now she's going to have to be a mom, and she's trying to like be a mom while still being an influencer. Kit Harington works at a meat shop. So they're just normal people. But when they have this kid, this whole film is almost like a horror movie because it plays into I'm not a parent, I'm a dog dad, but I have been around people that have kids and had kids for the first time, and from the outside looking in, it can seem very scary. And this film kind of plays on those tropes of like, what if I'm not doing this right as a first time parent? What if I'm not feeding them right? What if my kid ends up growing up and hating me? So it plays into those tropes, but then it takes another side of a spin where it's like there's maybe this kind of, I don't want to say supernatural, but there's this paranoia to the mother who is almost like like a Steven Spielberg or Stephen King type of a vibe where there's this a level of paranoia that she feels like there's someone watching her. So it gets into those depths and it does a good job of doing that. But I give it a C because there's a lot of stuff in the middle of the film that just kind of slows down the momentum. It doesn't really answer a lot of questions. They throw a lot of stuff at you. And by the time you get to the end, I'll say this, it starts off really intriguing because, again, it's kind of like a psychological horror. It gets really slow in the middle for me, which brings it down to a C. But then it does have a satisfying conclusion for parents out there, and particularly women out there that have to deal with being a mom and what comes with that, right? So I don't want to give too much away from that. But a really interesting movie. I just wish that it would have really executed the middle part because it really would have been a really good film. But Baby Rudy, which I believe is streaming on Amazon Prime, I might be wrong, but I gave it a C. Interesting film. I wouldn't break my neck to go see it, but if you do have, the various different streaming services, it might be something to check out. So moving on to our next film. And again, for those that are watching live, because I will be piecing this out, I will get to your comments and all that stuff because I don't even have it pulled up now. But once I go over this, I'll read your comments. So I'm not ignoring you all that are watching live, but getting on to my next film here. Infinity Pool. This might be a hot take, man, but I'm gonna give this a high B. I'm gonna give it a high B. I was leaning on an A, but a high B. This is a really weird film. If you all are familiar with the Cronenberg family, and particularly Brandon Cronenberg, they're all about body horror. And this is a film about, you have two excellent actors, Alexander Skarsgård and this woman's killing it. Mia Goth has been doing her thing for quite a while, but she's finally getting some notoriety in the last few years with X and Pearl. And, she's got Maxine coming out later this year. So I'm a big fan of hers. And it's essentially about Alexander Skarsgård and his wife going on a vacation. He's a writer who's only had one hit, and he's going to this vacation to try to, get off of his writer's block and write another novel. While there, they come across this other couple, Mia Goth and her husband. They hit it off. They have, some things that they have in common. They go out to dinner, and then they're in this resort. And this resort is kind of surrounded by cages. And when you see the film, you'll understand why they're in this kind of almost like a prison. They go outside. They decide to take this like date with the couples to go outside the gates. And unfortunately, there's alcohol involved. They're on their way back to the resort, and they get into a car accident. And that is a bad mistake because in this country, they have this particular program, which was called doubling, in which they give you an option when you get arrested, when you do a very, terrible thing like hitting someone, and without giving too much away, it's a hit and run situation. So the police find them and they give them an option. We can either, execute you because they don't really put people in prison in this country, or you can join this program called doubling. And if you've seen the trailer, you can understand what the doubling would allude to, but it's a very interesting film. Again, Brandon Cronenberg. So you got body horror, but you also have this kind of themes of like, what does it mean to have privilege? What does it mean for people from different countries, and not invading, but kind of interfering with customs and interfering with people's beliefs. So it's a lot of stuff going on there. I know it's a very divisive film for some people, because some people are like, this is, I've seen some of the other reviews that people had, but it really worked for me. It was weird. If you are someone that gets uncomfortable with sex scenes, it's a lot of sex scenes in this movie that would definitely leave a lot of people uncomfortable. But I really enjoyed it. And I thought the performances, especially by Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård, but more particularly Mia Goth, is just on a streak right now. Like, she's been great in everything I've seen her in, dating back to like Nymphomaniac, which was like 2014 and 2013 was the first time I think I saw her, which you talk about a very uncomfortable movie. That is one. But that and To Cure a Wellness, what was that film? I can't remember, with Dana Hahn. She was great in that. Suspiria. I mean, she's just, and then of course X and Pearl. She's just great, man. So I wouldn't recommend it for everyone. I got a full review on my channel, and I have like a spoiler review on it as well, kind of talking about my thoughts on it. But I gave it a B. So that's my thoughts on Infinity Pool. Next, we have another film that I know a lot of people weren't a big fan of, but I enjoyed it, and that is M. Night Shyamalan, Knock at the Cabin. Again, I have a full breakdown on it, both spoiler-free and spoiler, and I also talk about in that spoiler review the difference between because it is based on the novel. I broke down with the novel how it played out and the ending, and versus what the film does, which it does. There is a difference between the two, but again, you can check out my review, but I really enjoyed the idea of, and I always love films that put you in the position of the characters, like without giving too much away for those that aren't too familiar with Knock at the Cabin. You have this lovely family of two husbands, and they have a young girl, a young daughter, and they go out to a remote cabin, which in a horror film, that's always a bad no-no, but they go to this cabin. They come across, I shouldn't say they come across, they have their home invaded by these four strangers led by Dave Bautista, and they tell them that you have to kill one of the members of your family, and if you don't do so, the world's going to end. So again, it's one of those films where like, damn, what would you do? Would you be able to kill someone that you consider to be, the most important person to you in the world, mom, dad, brother, sister, you name it? So it's a really interesting film in that matter. And again, I understand some of the criticisms where I think sometimes people have the expectation with it being M. Night Shyamalan, it's a gift and a curse that he's become this kind of, it's a twist. Where is it twist? There's really not, there's twist in the films, but not in a way that you would think of like, I don't know, The Sixth Sense or Split or something like that. And again, it's based on a novel, and they took some creative liberties from what the novel did. But I enjoyed just that thrilling element of it. I also really enjoyed the performances. Like there was not one weak link in this cast. I thought the husbands were great. Jonathan Graff, and I can't think of the other gentleman's name, but he was fantastic. The young girl that plays the daughter in the film was great. But Dave Bautista, he just continues, in my opinion, to prove that he is probably the most versatile versatile athlete, wrestler turned actor. And that's no disrespect to my favorite wrestler of all time and one of my favorite entertainers of all time, and The Rock. And also, you have John Cena that's doing some great things. And there's been various amount of wrestlers turned actors, Jesse Ventura back in the 80s with Predator and all that stuff. But to me, Dave Bautista didn't do the average, let's do a, henchman, action film. He did that at the beginning of his career, but then he started to pivot over to working with Denis Villeneuve and Blade Runner 2049. Small role, but very impactful role. He works, he's a character in the James Bond film with Sam Mendes, and that was kind of a henchman role, again, kind of stereotypical roles that you would see in someone like that. But again, from there, he goes to Denis Villeneuve. He does Hotel Artemis, and now he does this. So I'm a big fan of what he's doing. He's in Dune, which I thought he was great in, and he's going to have a much bigger role in part 2. So he's really impressing me with his career, and I thought he was fantastic. So again, I know everyone didn't love Knock at the Cabin because it didn't, like I said, maybe stick the landing entirely at the ending. And it wasn't, like I said, I think some people were expecting a big twist, and there really wasn't a big reveal. It was kind of one of the more straightforward films from M. Night, but I enjoyed it for what it was. So on to the big one, and that is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium. Not only do I have a spoiler-free review, but I shot a 2-hour review with Amanda from Candid Cinema and Griffin from Film Speak, so you all can check that out. But not to beat, a broken record or to beat a horse, but I'm giving it a C. All the good things I said about the film still stand with me. I've only seen it once, and I'll probably wait till it comes out on Disney Plus to revisit it, and we might do a watch along for it in the future. But Jonathan Majors as Kang was fantastic, but then taking that element and then seeing what the film did with him kind of frustrated me as far as the power scaling in an MCU is just all over the place. And we talked about it for 2 hours with Griffin, who was really who liked it more than me and Amanda did. And he had his some good reasons that he brought up, but I still can't get over the treatment of Kang and the inconsistency of what Kang means within that certain narrative. But he was great from performance wise. I just wish they would have really done some better things with Kang. But Paul Rudd, of course, is great as usual. Cassie was hit or miss for me at points. Hope is kind of non-existent. Janet had a much bigger role in this film, but there were some moments where you just like, you feel like the plot was kind of holding back some logical things that Janet would have done in that film. Hank is just kind of hanking around and just kind of there. So there are, my biggest thing with this film is, and I'm not even the biggest Ant-Man fan, but it is 100% more of a setup for the MCU than it is like, this is the end of a chapter of a trilogy of films with characters you've been following since 2015. It didn't feel that way. So again, you can check out all my content based on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium, but it's a C for me. And man, that film, ooh, that box office, that second weekend was a pretty big drop. But moving on to another one that I think I'm in the minority with, Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear got a review on the channel for that. I had fun with it. It just, to me, so the things I liked about it was the gore elements, the horrific moments that Elizabeth Banks, who is this her third film, and this is her best film in my opinion. The way she captured the bear just ripping through people. Slasher, I kind of compared it to like a Nightmare, or not a Nightmare on Elm Street, but Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th in the daylight, but with the bear high on cocaine. So all those elements work for me, but then it's very joke heavy. And obviously, I don't want to sound like a broken record. I say this all the time when I talk about comedies, and this is, I'm not the first one to say this, but comedy is obviously very subjective. I think the biggest genres to me that are, obviously very subjective and have a lot of debate on if you enjoyed it or not is comedy and horror. Not everyone's going to be scared about the same things. Some people like myself, born in horror, I love horror films, so I'm kind of desensitized towards getting like actually terrified. And then comedy, not all the jokes are going to be found funny by a lot of different people. What I find funny, you might not find funny, and vice versa. So I didn't find a lot of the comedy in this film to be that funny. The situational comedy was funny. Like there's a bear on cocaine, and seeing the characters reacting to that was funny. But then when we weren't around the bear, which is a big chunk in the second half, the bear is absent, and it kind of pops up again in the third half. And I feel like the third half is kind of rushed to its ending. So again, it relies a lot on you being on board with the comedy and really caring for a lot of these secondary characters. And I just it didn't work for me in that narrative. So I had my fun with it, but I also wish it was a little bit more, not necessarily serious, because this is a really ridiculous concept, but I wish it would have leaned more into the horror more so than a comedy, if you all know what I mean. So Cocaine Bear is a C for me. And then that brings us to Creed 3, which I am have another review on that, and I plan on actually shooting a spoiler review in the coming days. So keep an eye out for that. But this was a film. First off, it's a franchise I'm a big fan of, not only from the Rocky movies, but Creed in general. Love those films. Michael B. Jordan does his thing. This is his directorial debut. I thought he did a really good job of finding the characters in this film, and particularly his exploring the Damien character, played again by Jonathan Majors, who's having a great year. So I thought he did a good job of that. The fighting sequences were really unique and very creative. The last fight, which we'll talk about in the spoiler review, I'm leaning towards enjoying what Michael B. Jordan was going for. And then there's like elements I'm like, it kind of took me out of this. Anyway, if you've seen the film, you'll know what I'm talking about, which I believe there are screenings that are taking place. The press screenings happened yesterday, and I got a chance to see it last week. And I believe the public early screenings might start Wednesday. But when you see the film, you know what I'm talking about with the third act. But there were some other things with Michael B. Jordan being a first-time director. I feel like the pacing was a bit off, and I felt like, and I don't know, it's just to be true, but again, I would imagine if this is my first time directing a movie and I'm also starring in a movie, that has to be a lot to shoulder. And I feel like the compromise was, to me, and we'll talk about this further in the spoiler review, Adonis Creed was kind of a secondary character in the first two halves, and it was definitely more of a Damien film, which, like, rightfully so. Who is this new character? Why should we be afraid of him? But I felt like Michael B. Jordan's performance in the first two halves was just a little bit, his energy seemed to be more on the directing, more so than actually building out the continuation of the legacy of Adonis. So neither here nor there. You can check out my review on the film, and then keep an eye out for my spoiler review. But I gave Creed 3 a B, and I have a rankings video coming up for that pretty soon. So last but not least, this film has definitely went under the radar. That is Operation Fortune, which is the new Guy Ritchie film. And listen, man, this was a film that I really enjoyed, y'all. This is a movie it's a spy movie, as the poster might allude to. Great cast. Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, Hugh Grant, Josh Hartnett, Carrie Eels, I believe his name. Been an actor for a very long time. He was great in it. And Bugsy Malone, I believe his name. I think he's a European or UK rapper. He was also in The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie. He was great in it. But It's a pretty straightforward film. It's a spy movie, and if you've seen enough Bond films and enough Mission Impossible films and just the genre in general, it's always a MacGuffin, right? A USB, a hard drive, and you got to encrypt it because if it gets in the wrong hands, there's AI technology and could end the world. So, the story's pretty straightforward. You've seen it before. But when you have, and just the spy genres in general, horror films, comedies, action, sci-fi, they all have, like, fundamentally speaking, they all have similar stories, if we're all being honest. But is what's unique about the characters that separates those stories, right? So it's the characters in the film that really made this a good film to me, made it a B for me. Again, I didn't do a full review for it, but I shot it like a short, 60-second review that I'm going to be putting out when the embargo lifts tomorrow. So I'm giving you a little preview here without getting too much into the weeds, but I really enjoyed it, man. The characters were a lot of fun. Again, Jason Statham, I'll never get tired of him kicking ass. And he kicks a lot of ass in this film. And he's a very realistic character. He's not a superhero. He's not jumping through the walls. He's like a very human being in this movie. He's a spy who's been doing it for a while, and he's stuck in his ways, but I really enjoyed him. I'm a sucker for Aubrey Plaza. I've been a fan of her since Parks and Rec as April, and I've really enjoyed her transitioning to being. I know a lot of people, when they think of Aubrey Plaza, they think she's very one note. I disagree with that. I recommend you all watch Legion on FX, 3 seasons of phenomenal television. Her and Dan Stevens were incredible. I recommend that show. Any X-Men fans? She was great in the most recent movie that came out last year. Emily the Criminal, something of that nature. Phenomenal, great movie, but great performance by her. And then the most recent season of White Lotus, I thought that she played against what people think of her character of being a kind of the quirky, weird girl. So I'm a big fan of Aubrey Plaza, and she's playing the hacker of the group, and she has a lot of whips and jokes, and her and the banter between her and Jason was great. So yeah, man, I don't want to give too much away because like I said, I have a review coming out for that tomorrow, but I really enjoyed it. It's coming out on Friday, March 3rd. I think it has a limited release, which I would imagine, because this film has been delayed a couple times due to some political reasons and also due to the pandemic. But I would imagine it'll be available on Amazon or streaming platforms within the next month or two. And then when it is available, I recommend you all give it a watch. So as far as ranking these things, and we'll get into the breakdown here of all the new releases, there's only one A for me so far from last month, and that was the episodes of The Last of Us. Even though I didn't like some of the episodes, it's still great writing, still great character stuff. There's still great performances. So that's my A. We got a couple B's here. So if I were to rank and to separate I'm going to start with the show. So which show was my favorite in the month of February? It's kind of hard to kind of base because there's only two of these have had full seasons. So if I were to rank between season 4, part 1, which isn't even a complete story, versus a complete season of Outer Banks, I guess this is by default because you've seen the complete story of Outer Banks, so I got to give it the edge over you because part 2 is out and I've seen part 2, and I don't want to give away my thoughts on it by ranking it, but I'll just put it here for right now, which is right behind Servant, or in front of Servant. So that's the show side of my B's. But then if I were to rank my B tier for the movies, it would probably look at something like Infinity Pool was my favorite movie from last month. From there, I will go Creed 3. If I can get that over here. There we go. And then I would go here in Operation Fortune. And then still a B, but coming in last for me was Knock at the Cabin. And then for my C tier, I will go Ant-Man. Yeah, I'll go Ant-Man as far as the C tier, and then Cocaine Bear, and then Baby Rudy. So there you have it, y'all. This is my tier list for the best and worst. Not too many bad films. Even though I got some 3 projects that were C's, it was still a pretty good month for me as far as movies and shows. Nothing was like dog trash or D-less, F-less, which is always good. You don't want to waste your time with movies and shows. So there you have it, y'all. This is my tier list of all the movies and shows I saw for the month of February. So if you're watching this, go ahead and leave yours in the comments and let me know your thoughts on my rankings and how would you rank the personal films that you saw for the first time in the month of February. Let me know in the comments. And of course, like, share, comment, and subscribe. So, all right. So that portion is done. I'm going to probably clip that out and make it a separate video and get it out for tomorrow. So let me go to the comment section and see what you guys were talking about. And then we'll pivot over to the the new movies and shows. So Tyrian came in earlier saying, "What's up? How we doing, man?" Andrew talking about the best video game adaptation. I assume you're referring to The Last of Us, and I would agree with that. Adam said, "I want the last episode of Servant to be an actual explanation." Yeah, man. If you've been following my breakdown for that, Adam, it's a lot of stuff still on the table, and we only got 3 episodes left. So we'll see, man. What's going on? Sherry, how you doing tonight? Zia is saying, "I just need at least 3 reasons to keep Apple TV Plus for my trial period. Too many subscriptions. We need bigger bulk deals." No, I agree with you, Zia. And if I'm being honest with you, I love Apple TV Plus. Like I had them for free for 3 years because I had a phone and it came with it, but then that ran out, I think, last year. And I'm still keeping them. And I have like Apple Music and my Apple TV Plus combined, so you get like $1 discount. Whoopity doo. But anyway, I still suggest keeping it. Again, it's your money, so I don't want to, obviously tell you what to do with the money. But I love Apple TV Plus. I think they have their mantra to me is the complete opposite of Netflix, and that is quality over quantity. Like they have quality programs. Now, that might not be all for me, but I could not ignore the production, the crew, the cast, all the stuff they bring together. And if I were to suggest any TV shows, if you're still on the trial run, I like Servant, as I talked about earlier. Jason Momoa show C, which ended this past year or late last year. They had 3 seasons of that. I really enjoyed that show. Severance. Zia, if you haven't seen Severance, I recommend you check it out. And for anyone out there that haven't seen Severance, it's one of my favorite shows of last year. And I can't wait for season 2. Defending Jacob is a fantastic show. Chris Evans, the kid from It, the first name I believe is Jacob. I can't think of his last name right now, but that was a great show. And we got the morning show with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon and Steve Carell. I couldn't get into it, but you have the show with Octavia Spencer, which is slipping my mind right now. But she has her own show, which is like 3 seasons in. And then they have the space show, Ted Lasso. It's a lot of great stuff, Zia. And they got some good movies too. So I'm not sponsored by Apple, but if Apple's watching this, hit your boy up. But no, I'm a big advocate of Apple TV Plus. I think they have, like I said, quality, the HBO approach, quality over quantity. Wait, what? Yeah, C. The first season was all on Lifetime. And it had great numbers, but it wasn't Lifetime friendly because it is a pretty, like I said, people are dying left and right, and it gets pretty dark. So, they canceled it after the first season, but then Netflix came in and look at it, 4 seasons now, and it's one of the biggest shows on Netflix as far as ratings go. So, Cassandra, what's going on? What's up? Let's see here. My man Jay in the building. What's going on? Welcome. Jay of the North, thank you for recommending Dark on Netflix. The show is so good. Jay, whenever I get a chance to talk about Dark, I always like to talk further in it. One of my favorite shows of all time. It probably is my favorite show of all time. I've talked about it ad nauseum on this channel. I got reviews for it on my channel. I got like a 2-hour stream talking about it when it wrapped up. Love that show. Baron Bodar and Yanti Freeze, the creators of that show, made a masterpiece. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jay. Glad you enjoyed it. And check out 1899, which is on Netflix as well. It's the next project. Let's see. Dave Bautista. Yeah, he leveled up for sure. We got Peter. I used to do a good Peter Griffin impression. I can't do it right now. But I can't do it. I'm sorry. I failed y'all. What's up, L? How we doing? My day's going good, man, especially that I'm here with you all. So I hope you're having a great day, and I appreciate you stopping by. Big fan of the channel. Thank you. Zia is saying about Cocaine Bear, I couldn't take all the gore, but I think I said 7 out of 10. Yeah, I actually love the gore. I just didn't like the comedy of it all. Tyrian, I just got out. Oh, nice, man. What'd you think if you're still here? What is today? Tuesday or Wednesday? But I thought anyway, I'm glad you saw it, man. I thought the public screenings were tomorrow, but I guess it was tonight. So I might, I'll have a spoiler review hopefully by the weekend. But I'm glad. Let me know what you thought about it, Tyrian. I'm sure you'll have a review on the channel, which I'll check out. But just let me know your quick thoughts about it. ZSC, I see it tomorrow. Creed, nice. Seeing it on Friday, dope. Justin saying, excuse me. Speaking of Guy Ritchie, fingers crossed for yeah. versus Johnny Depp. Why would Johnny Depp be in those films? Um, yeah, I saw an article yesterday about that, Justin, that Guy Ritchie is ready. He just said it is all based on our RDJ, which, I mean, a man has money for generations. He doesn't have to work, but he's not doing anything right now. So I think he would be available. But I don't know. Maybe he's making room for some Marvel projects, which I know they said he's off the table for now. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that Sherlock Holmes film. And I'm a big fan of Guy Ritchie, man. I think he's a very underrated director. She was great in The Black Bear. Oh, you're talking about Aubrey Plaza. I did not see The Black Bear, but I heard she was good in that. I got to check that out one day. Cocaine Bear, greatest movie. Greatest movie. I'm glad you liked it, Jay. I'm glad you liked it, man. Latoya, what's going on? What's going on? Justin, getting Apple TV Plus again because Ted Lasso's coming back. Nice. Yeah. I got to catch up on Ted Lasso. It was one of my favorite shows the first season. And I don't want to get too into the why I didn't finish season 2, but let's just say I was covering all the episodes and then I got hit with a copyright strike for no reason from Warner Brothers, and it really pissed me. They ended up lifting it, but it was like they gave it to me for no reason. I was like, I had like restrictions on my channel for like a whole month for no apparent reason. So I was kind of bitter. I was kind of very bitter. So I didn't even finish the second season because I was just so mad. Not at the show. I love the show. I was just mad at Warner Brothers for giving me a stupid, not a copy claim or a claim on your channel, because I don't even put like footage in my reviews. It was like literally I used steal shots. So I was like, what the heck? But anyway, yeah. But yeah, Ted Lasso is a great show. I got to catch up for season 3 is in a couple weeks, which we'll talk about. Maxine saying Severance. Yeah. Ted Lasso. I was building a fight. Yeah, Andrew, couldn't agree with you more. Thank you. Truth Be Told was the show I was talking about earlier with yes, thank you with Octavia Spencer. And I watched the first season. I had got the first like 4 or 5 episodes, and I watched them all. I actually have a review on the channel. It didn't resonate with me. But shout out to Octavia Spencer. And that's one thing about Apple. They don't be canceling nothing. Like they'll let the writers and creators, if they got 4 seasons, 5 seasons, they let them complete their journeys. That's another thing I love about Apple is they finish out their series. So I appreciate that. Zia, I might need to check those out. Yeah, Zia, some great stuff on Apple today. Like I think it was Andrew that said it. They have a fantastic catalog they're building. I'm excited for the tournament. Yep, we'll talk about that. That's another great show, Andrew. A Foundation. Narratively, some of the stuff like the I can't remember all the characters' names, but everything that wasn't Lee Pace based was not as interesting to me, but visually, oh my goodness, Andrew, that show was gorgeous. I mean, some of the best visual effects I've seen in a TV show like ever. Like it is a gorgeous show. Just watch it for the visuals alone. What's up, Rain? How we doing? Truth be told, yeah, thank you. Let's see here. The acting on you reminds me. Some of it does, but I'm a fan. I'm sticking on board with the show, and I'm really. I don't know if you're still watching it, Maxine, but or if you gave up on the show, but that second season's crazy when he meets love, and that third season with him, and I enjoy the craziness. I'm here for the craziness with you. Let's see here. Surface was a boring show. Was that the one with Gugu Mabahara? I think it's her name. Yeah, I didn't watch that one, but I hate to hear that it was bad. Yutaka, what's up, my man? How we doing? We are deaf beefing. We are deaf beefing now with Cocaine Bear to C and The Last of Us, not an S tier. Shout out to Yutaka, a local here out where I'm at. We've met at a couple different screenings, and hopefully got some more. He's been on the channel for The Last of Us, and hopefully we got some collabs happening in the future. But yeah, we talked about Cocaine Bear at the night of the screening, and yeah, he definitely enjoyed it much more than I did. Check out his channel, by the way, The Horror Hour. They have a lot of great content, and me being a big horror fan, I love the stuff that they cover. I'm love Guy Ritchie. Yeah, Guy Ritchie's great. I'm a big fan of Guy Ritchie. Some of his films, Arthur and all that stuff. Some of it doesn't always work, but Snatch and Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is so underrated. And we talked about the Sherlock Holmes film, and his last few movies, Wrath of Man was really good. The Gentleman was really good. So yeah, man, I like Guy Ritchie a lot. We got Severance coming on Apple TV too. Yeah, I can't. Ooh, Rain. I can't wait. I can't wait for season 2. Mayanne, what's up? Thank you so much for thank you for being part of the channel and supporting the review. So thank you so much. Cassandra ready for Succession. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that here in a second, man. Last season, I can't believe it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You gotta be careful out there for content creators with crazy copyright stuff. But I'm glad I clicked on. I'm looking to watch these. Oh, nice. Yeah, some really great. Hopefully, some good recommendations I gave you. If you haven't watched Servant, you also the show is awesome. Yeah, thank you, Rain. I think I'm getting old, Rain. Correct me if I'm wrong. But wasn't Servant one of the first videos you saw of mine that brought you to the channel? And if so, that dates back to 2019, which is 4 years now. So shout out to Rain and shout out to every single one of you all that's not only like new to the channel, but it's been part of the journey since, earlier years. So shout out to you, Rain. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that for sure. 60 plus reviews. Love your monthly live reviews of thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I've been doing it for a while and I loved talking about this new stuff with you all. So yeah, man. Let's see here. Hey man, hit me up for hey, I think we talked not too long ago or exchanged something on Instagram something, but yeah, for sure. We'll figure something out. I know you and your correct me if I'm wrong, you and your wife do a lot of reactions on your channel and you watch like all my favorite shows. So yeah, man, whatever you have in mind, we'll come up with something and definitely get a collab on the books because I love your content and the community you're building is fantastic. So shout out to you. I watched this too, Andrew. Oh, background noise. I'm still a little upset. Yeah, the King Arthur movies got canceled. Yeah. Is you and Sharana doing anything together? Hopefully. That's my man. I love Sharana. She is one of my favorite content creators on this platform. And we've done some collabs. She's been on the channel here. I was on her channel a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. Was that on there? I don't remember the last time. I think the last time I was on there was Black Panther, but she hit me up for another class. I just wasn't available. But yeah, Sharana, that's the homie. So yeah, we will definitely be collabing, hopefully sooner rather than later. So yeah, keep that in mind. The Mandalorian. Yeah, we'll be talking about that. Yeah, my memory is trash. Rock and Roller. Yeah, that's a good one. Again, I'm telling y'all, man, he's a freaking beast. Yeah, see, I love it. I appreciate you, Rain. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. So now that we got that out of the way, and again, share what movies you watched in the comments for February and how you would rank it. So moving on to the main event, and that is, and I didn't got all these pictures. I didn't even pop them up when I was doing my rundown, but we'll use them now. So we are now approaching the second half of this video of this live stream, which again, I appreciate you all joining tonight. So now we're going to talk about all the exciting new movies and TV shows releasing for the month of March. Now, obviously, as I'm recording this live, we're in the month of February, but we're just a day away. We are heading to March tomorrow. So I'm going to clip this out and piece it together for a more shorter video. So don't mind me as I kind of do my intro for my video. So with that being said, welcome everyone. Thank you for clicking on this video. This is a breakdown of all the new movies and shows coming out for the month of March. And let me tell y'all, we're live, by the way, so check out the replay. I'll leave the video in the description of this video. But we have a lot to look forward to in the month of March, and we're about to break it all down. So before we do so, do your boy a favor, hit the like button, share, comment what movies and shows you're most excited for. Let me know what movies and shows I might have missed in this breakdown, and let's have a conversation in the comment section. With that being said, let's start off about all the stuff that is coming to the big screens, and that is all the new movies coming out in the month of March. And I'm saying this now, I can't remember a March ever in my existence of life being this stacked. As you all will see, literally every month, every Friday of the month, there's a new release, and a pretty big one at that. So with that being said, let's kick things off with what's coming in theaters on this coming Friday, which is March 3rd. And that is, as you can see, Creed 3, which is available in IMAX, and the new Guy Ritchie spy action comedy by the name of Operation Fortune. Let's start off with Operation Fortune because that's the, no disrespect, Peyton Reed and all the great actors, and then it's the smaller out of the two big releases, but it is a film that I really enjoyed. I do have a full, not a full review, but I have a short review that I put out on the channel. By the time this video is out, you can see it on the channel. But it's fun. It's some action. It's a spy espionage stuff going on. We have some stereotypical stuff you see in the spy genre, but it has that Guy Ritchie flair, and it also has some really great performances. The cast and the chemistry was on point. Led by Jason Statham. You got Aubrey Plaza, who's great in everything I've ever seen her in. I love her so much. Josh Hartnett's making a comeback. I'm a really big fan of his, and he was okay. Again, keep an eye out for my review for that. Hugh Grant is front and center. He's a very interesting character, and also the secondary characters. Bugsy Malone was great, and again, it's just a really fun. If you're a fan of Guy Ritchie, you kind of know what to expect from his sensibilities as a director. His films are energetic, they're fast paced, and then it's his dialogue that really hooks me. So Operation Fortune does come out this coming Friday. I believe it has a limited release in theaters, and if it is in your theaters, I recommend you all give it a watch. And if it's not in your theaters, if it's available on streaming in the next coming weeks or so, go ahead and check it out. And I don't think you all would be disappointed. So that is one of the two major releases coming out this Friday. But the big one that has a lot of people excited, including myself, and I have seen it, and I'm talking about Creed 3. That's right. We got my man Adonis Creed continuing his legacy that he got from his father and the struggle to take on that name from the first two films to now fully embracing it. And now he has to take that name and that legacy against a really close friend of his, a childhood buddy of his. That's Damon, played by the one and only Jonathan Majors, who's having a heck of a year so far and has had a heck of a run the last few years, dating back to Last Black Man in San Francisco, Lovecraft Country. The man is just picking. Let me move this for a second. Shout out to Jonathan Majors' manager, whoever the manager is. I don't know if it's family, if he's outsourced it to a company. If it's him, he might not even have a manager. I mean, the man is doing his own thing. Shout out to whoever makes the decisions besides him on the movies and projects he attaches himself to, because this man, he is showing he's becoming a household name. I knew about Jonathan Majors 5 years ago. Shout out to Lovecraft Country, bring it back. Mr. Green, season 2, Apple TV, Amazon. Can y'all pick him up? Anyway, he's in this film, and we got, without giving too much away, because I know the film is premiering as I'm recording this tonight, and it's coming out officially on Friday for the nationwide release. I'm a fan of this franchise, and I think if you're a fan of the Creed franchise and the Rocky franchise, but more particularly Creed, because if you are been following these films, you know that Rocky is not in this movie. That isn't a spoiler. They made that very public years ago. But this is Michael B. Jordan's coming out party from the sense of he's not only leading this movie as Adonis Creed, but he's also directing this film for the first time. And I got to say, man, he did a pretty good job. There are some shortcomings. Again, I have a full breakdown of this film on my channel now, but there's some shortcomings in some of the directional choices. But overall, he did a pretty solid job. And I think he's been bitten by that bug. You don't just do one film and say, all right, I tried that. Let me just go stick to acting. I think we're going to see more of him directing films, and I'm here for it, especially if we get a Creed 4 or a spinoff based on, the most recent Creed. So I really enjoyed the film. Jonathan Majors was fantastic. The chemistry between Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors is on point. Tessa Thompson's on point. The family foundation is still there in the films, and the fight sequences are pretty electric. There's some creative choices in the ring that Michael B. Jordan decided to go with, and I'm still kind of, thinking over. But overall, the fight scenes capture the brutality of boxing, and it is shot really well in that sense. And again, if you've been following this franchise, it continues that legacy of the Creed name. So I really recommend you all give this a watch if you haven't already bought your tickets. And again, check out my full review, which you can see on the channel now. So that is coming out this Friday, March 3rd. So moving on to the following week, which is March 10th. And this is again, man, Friday, be in the theaters. This is a nice little double feature. Coming out March 10th, we have 65 starring Adam Driver. And again, if you know my channel, you know I love me some horror, and this is one. And just out of all the subgenres in horror, supernatural, psychological thriller, slashers. I'm a slasher boy. Michael Myers is my favorite slasher icon. Halloween 1970 is my favorite horror film. Followed by, as far as slasher genre, Ghostface takes a couple, he leaps over some of those icons, but we're talking Scream 6 coming out on Friday. But let's start off with 65. Now, this film, I don't know a ton about, which I actually like. I've seen some snippets. I've seen a little bit of the trailer, and I didn't go too further than this 30-second clip I saw on YouTube on a commercial one day. So as far as what I know, just to give you guys a brief synopsis of what you all can expect for this new Adam Driver film, 65, here's the rundown. So here's a quick synopsis without giving too much away. After a catastrophic crash on an unknown planet, Pilot Mills, that's a really good name for an explorer and exploring space. Pilot Mills quickly discovers he's actually stranded on Earth 65 million years ago. Now, with his only chance to be at rescue, Mills and the only survivor that he comes across must make their way across an unknown terrain riddled with many dangerous prehistoric creatures in an epic fight to survive. So if you see the poster there, and let me make it a little bit bigger, that seems to look like a dinosaur skeleton. So prehistoric creatures trying to survive. And if you've seen the trailer, you know what prehistoric creatures they're referring to. But if they're showing us that in the trailer and they're talking about that in the synopsis, I think there's going to be more things that he's going to have to fight against with this young lady, played by Andrea Block, what's her name? Greenblack, who I think that young lady was, she was young Gamora, if I'm not mistaken. So listen, man, Adam Driver, check, one of the best actors in Hollywood. We have the writers, I believe, from the writers of The Quiet Place, one of the best thrilling horror films in the last decade, if you ask me, part 1 and part 2. So you got those writers, and then you have a sci-fi. I would imagine there's some horrific vibes because I think these creatures are not going to be too friendly. So I think we're going to see now. I don't know if that means there's going to be a high body count because from what I gather from the synopsis and a little bit of trailer I've seen, there's only 2 characters in the movie, but might be some other, characters that they just haven't shown us. I think that they've done a really good job of marketing this because I don't know much about it other than that synopsis I read and the little 30-second teaser I saw. So I don't know, man. We might have a sleeper on our hands. Like we have a lot of big films that we'll be talking about, but this might be the one that might have people talking the most. We'll see. We'll see, y'all. So that is coming out this or 2 weeks from now, or next week, I should say, on March 10th, and that is 65. Simple. I love that title. It's a simple title. But something that's not simple, that's Scream in the franchise, and in a good way. That's not a bad way. I love Scream, as I mentioned earlier. But as far as not being simple, it's always complicated when it comes to who done it, who's the killer, who is behind the mask. And I've been lucky enough because apparently there have been spoilers out there for a couple weeks, couple months, if I'm being honest, and I've avoided them. And I'm going to keep dodging them. Twitter, Instagram, I'm not looking at any spoilers. I'm just going to, cut to the chase as far as the thing that does make me upset. If you have been following this franchise since 1996, you know that this film is the first Scream film that doesn't have Nev, y'all. It doesn't have Nev Campbell. If you've been following some of the behind the scenes, there was some pay issues. They couldn't figure out a pay. She felt like she was being undervalued. And shout out to Nev. If you don't feel like, and this goes for anyone in any part of life, if you don't feel like you're getting the respect you deserve, the compensation, the pay that you think you deserve, and by all accounts, she is the screen queen of that franchise. She has been around since the beginning. So I respect that. I have this weird feeling in my gut that it's all a marketing ploy. And I think that she might be in the movie. I know there's been a theory out there that, she might be the killer herself. And I saw this one video. I'm just kind of going on a tangent. It was either a YouTube short or a TikTok where someone had pointed out all the posters for Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Every single poster had Nev Campbell in the middle of the poster. And then when they brought up the poster of this new one, they said, well, you don't see Nev Campbell like essentially in the middle of the poster, but you do see a ghost face in the middle of the poster. I don't know. I'm a fan of the franchise. I would hate that idea of Nev Campbell being the killer. That would make no sense unless there's like she has a secret, like a twin or something. But no, I would hate that idea. But either here nor there, I love this franchise. It has its ups and downs. First one's a classic. Second one is a really good follow-up to the original. The third one's not that good, if you ask me. Part four, I have a lot of fun with, and I won't say who killer is if you guys haven't seen, the trilogy. But I really enjoyed the fourth one. It's very bloody. The fourth one, besides the fifth one, is like one of the most violent Scream films in the franchise. Part four. But I really enjoyed last year's Scream with the guys that did Ready or Not, and they're coming back to do this new one. The writers and directors. So I really enjoyed the fifth one. We lost an OG, from the original, which I won't say who if you haven't seen the fifth one, but I like this new cast. Again, this is just talent. Jenna Ortega's having a hell of a year. If you've seen Scream 4, we got Kirby coming back. Can't wait to see what she's been up to. Melissa Barga, I thought she was great in the last one. She was great in the musical that's slipping my mind right now. You got an OG on the poster, and Nev Campbell didn't come back, but Courtney Cox is here. So hopefully she survives, finger crossed. And then also Samara Weaving. Who's not a fan of Samara Weaving, which goes back, she worked with the Ready or Not guys with that film. And she's also been in a lot of great stuff. Babysitter Club or The Babysitters and MILF. She was on a show called MILF, which was really funny for the seasons that I saw. She's a great actress. And I think if I were to put my theory hat on, I think, speaking of Samara Weaving, I think she might be that, opening credit, set the mood Scream. I think she'll probably be the first kill if I'm being honest, because it's a big cast. You got to kill some of these characters, and I think she might be the opening kill. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I love her a lot. I think she's a great actress, but yeah, I don't know if she's going to be living after that the opening credit scene. But anyway, man, I'm really stoked for this new Scream film. I will be fortunate enough if barring no crazy scheduling changes, but I will be seeing it on March 6th, I believe, which I believe is on Monday. So keep an eye out for spoiler-free. Keep an eye out for out-of-theater reaction for the film, spoiler-free review whenever the embargo lifts, and then maybe a spoiler review, man. Keep an eye out for that. So very excited for Scream 6. Yes, I am bitter. I'm sad that Nev Campbell, as of now, doesn't appear to be in the film, but we'll see come next week. But let me know in the chat in the comment section if you all are excited for Scream 6 coming out next week, man. I can't wait. So moving on to the next week here, we got a big one. It's the only film that doesn't have much competition on the individual. Well, there's a couple other ones that doesn't have like multiple films on the same day. But let's talk about it. You all know me if you've been part of this community. I love me some DC. We're going through some changes, and I'm excited for the changes. But before we get to the new day, we got to go and continue the previous regime, and that is Shazam! Fury of the Gods coming out March 17th, which is 2 weeks from now. So first and foremost, I'm a fan of the original 2018, 2019, one of those 2 years. I think it was 2019. Shazam! I enjoyed it. It was a nice family fun. To me, I've always equated not comic book comparing the characters, but as far as the impact on their IPs of the franchises, Marvel, MCU, and DCEU. Shazam, the first one, reminded me a lot of like Ant-Man. It was, the family movie. It was, about the family. It was about having family and all that different stuff. And I really enjoyed that narrative. And I thought that the kids were great. The chemistry was great. I'm a big fan of the director, David F. Sandberg, Lights Out, Annabelle Creation, and of course Shazam here. I think he's a really great director, and he brings in his horror sensibilities in the first Shazam. And I'm gonna let y'all know this is exclusive to my audience. I can't talk too much about it, but I'll just say this: I have seen Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and that's all I can say. There's an embargo on the film. I saw it a couple months ago. That's all I'll say. So it comes out March 17th. I do feel bad for some of the narratives surrounding this film, not only from Zachary Levi. Twitter, sometimes celebrities, their PRs need to be fired. Like sometimes people, freedom of speech, I get it, but neither here nor there, keeping the controversy off of him. But focusing on David S. Sandberg, he said it the other day on Twitter. Someone asked him, like, oh man, I would be excited for Shazam if, DC wasn't being reset, because why do I want to see this film if there's not going to be a continuation of the Shazam family, Shazam and all that? And David F. Sandberg is such a great guy. I follow him on Twitter and Instagram because he's funny, number one. And he also shows like a lot of behind the scenes of how to make films, how he edits his films. It's a lot of stuff if you're a film fan. He's a great follow on those platforms. But he responded and said, I recommend you see this movie, right? He's saying, like, if you want more of Shazam, go see our film, go support the film. So I understand some people's sentiment when they say, why would I be excited for Shazam? Blue Beetle, Aquaman, which has had some stuff been said about the screening for that, test screenings being bad, which I don't always buy stock in, but that's another conversation for another day. And The Flash. So they're like, oh, why get excited? I'm like, I understand where people are coming from, but when did we become a society of film watchers where it's like, oh, I'll only see this movie because it's going to build to something else, or I'll only see this because it's a part of a greater universe? It's like, when, and again, to each your own, but I like to go in films and just take the film as it is. And if it sets up something else, cool, that's great, but I'm there for that movie, right? So again, I can't talk about Shazam, but all I'll say is if you are a fan of the first one, give it a chance, man. So that's my thoughts on Shazam: Fury of the Gods. I will have a actual review coming out. I literally shot the review like months ago. So I'm really excited to share that with you all and getting more information when I can release the review to get my thoughts on it. But hey, let me know in the comments, man, if you all are excited about Shazam: Fury of the Gods. So that is coming out March 17th. Next, oh yeah, see the smile on my face? This is a franchise I'm a big fan of, y'all. Oh man, March 24th. I can't believe we are 4 chapters into this guy here and his crew of other assassins. John Wick Chapter 4, which will be available in IMAX, and I hope I can see it in IMAX because, man, I love me some John Wick, y'all. I'm a fan of this franchise. I'm a fan of Keanu Reeves. I think he's found the perfect set of directors and writers in this franchise that suits his sensibilities as an actor. I love Keanu Reeves. He seems to be an amazing individual from all accounts of what I've heard of him, just being a human being, which you always like to hear that. You always like to know that there's good people in the world, but then taking it into just focusing on his career as an actor. This is no disrespect to Keanu Reeves, but he isn't the best actor, right? He's good at what he's good at, right? And I think he's great at playing John Wick. Stoic, not a man of many words, but he's a man of many bullets and many weapons, and he can make a weapon. I mean, look, I got a random USB laying here. He can kill you with a USB thumb drive. That's how dangerous John Wick is, man. And we're 4 chapters in, and Baba Yaga is on the run for the high table. I don't know how the hell he survived after John Wick 3. If you all have seen that, my man came down multiple stories from a building and survived. But we're going after the high table. We have our new villains, which is Donnie Yen. Oh my goodness, Ickman versus John Wick. My mind right now can't even imagine the action sequences we're going to see in hopefully IMAX in a couple weeks. Donnie Yen, my man Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise himself, the dancing clown, is in it as a villain, and it's just riddled with other amazing talent. I don't know if Halle Berry is going to be a part of this one. I would hope so because I really enjoyed her character in the third one. But we already know there's a John Wick 5 in the works. So I think it's safe to assume that John Wick's going to make it out of it. But who knows? Who knows, man? They are doing a spinoff, The Ballerina, with Ana de Armas. And I wouldn't be surprised if they merge those franchises, you know, because for those that did see John Wick 3, they introduced, you know, there's so many different fractions and different sections within the underworld of the assassins, you know, crew in New York. And they explored this whole ballerina side of assassins, and Ana de Armas will be doing her own spinoff film. So I would imagine she'll be part of John Wick 5, if not getting her own continuations of those films. But man, I'm stoked. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to probably do a rewatch here in the next few days, gearing up to the fourth one, coming out March 17th. So yeah, man, John Wick Chapter 4, y'all. Let me know your excitement level. If you have seen all 3, if you're excited for this new one, if you're not, I don't know what's wrong with you, but no, let me know if you are excited for John Wick Chapter 4. Now, rounding out what's coming out in theaters, we have coming out on the end of the month, Dungeons and Dragons, y'all. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've never played D&D in my life, but, you know, I watched Stranger Things, and I've seen I have friends that have played D&D, and they have nothing but great things to say about it, which is great. It's a great community of people that play D&D, which is awesome. And who knows, based off this film, if it's what I'm hearing, I'm going to tell you a little insight, man. I know someone that has seen it, and they say that this is a surprisingly good movie. And I guess I don't want to say surprisingly, because look at this poster. I mean, talent across, you know, Michelle Rodriguez, Chris Pine, what was the name? Rogel Rene Page. He's great. Justin Smith, the young lady from It, Hugh Jackman or Hugh Grant. So, I mean, a great cast, great crew. the trailers have been pretty awesome. Like they look, the visual effects look clean. It's a fantasy film, which I love. Fantasy. We don't have enough fantasy nowadays, so I'm here for it, man. I don't know how the D&D community is about this film. Again, I'm sure that there are criticisms people have about wait, that this creature doesn't, all that different stuff that comes with an IP, an established IP, but I'm not established with an IP. So this is a brand new world for me. So I'm excited for it. And like I said, I've heard some pretty good things about Dungeons and Dragons. Honor Among Thieves. A really good title too. So there you have it, y'all. Those are all the new movies coming to theaters this month of March. So let me know which movies are you most excited for. What movies did I miss out on any movies? If so, comment below. And let's have a conversation. So before we pivot over into the Netflix and the Hulus of the world, let me get over to the comment section, and then we'll get into the streaming process of it all, the streaming rundown of it all, and we'll edit that out when we do the video. So, all right, let me get to the comments here and see what you guys are talking about with these movies that we just ran down. All right. And again, shout out to, we got 37 people watching live. I appreciate all 37 of you all tuning in. Do your boy a favor, hit that thumbs up. Share, comment, keep commenting. I'm going to try to, again, I said at the beginning of the video, I said I'm going to do my rundown and then come back to you all, do the rundown, come back. So definitely keep leaving your comments in the comment section. I'm going to read them off. So, all right, where did I leave off at? I should have put a star or something by it. Okay, here we go. Absolutely impressive every time. Yep, I love it. Peacemaker. Heads up, Peacemaker 20. Is that confirmed, Jay? Because I love me some Peacemaker. So I thought James Gunn said that it was going to probably be a while because obviously he's writing the Superman. He's going to end up directing it. Best believe that. He's doing Creature Commandos. He's probably going to have his hand in the writing in the Waller show. So yeah, and he's the creator of Peacemaker. So it might be more that 2025, if not later, if I'm being honest with you, Jay, but we'll see. Hey, I'm here for it whenever they do give us that. Swagger is a good series. Okay, nice. I never checked it out, Jay. Swagger. Is that the one with O'Shea Jackson Jr., if I'm not mistaken? Let me know, Jay, if you're still here. Love the retro poster look. Nice. Maxine says, so for those people who have seen Creed 3 already, is it better than 2? I don't think so, for me personally. And keep an eye out for a rankings video that I'll have for that. But it's a really good film, but I don't think it's as good as the part 2. But that doesn't mean it's bad. What's up, B? How we doing? Brandon from Just My Opinion Reviews. Hope you're doing good, man. Thank you. As you see, as he says, hey, thumbs up. I'm letting him start over from no worries. Shout out to Brandon again. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing good, bro. We'll be linking up soon. Y'all will see what we got cooked up. Kenny, what's up, man? How we doing? Can't wait for this. Jonathan Majors is the new Ooh, Kenny coming in with that heat. That's some big words there, Kenny, because that's my favorite. This guy right here is my favorite actor of all time, Kenny. And he has a resume. Jonathan Majors got some years in my eyes. But to your point, Kenny, he has carved out this very meticulously smart career so far. Independent films, a great hit, amazing show. Denzel's never been a part of I think he's been on TV, but not like that. And especially on that scale of a Lovecraft Country. So he's done the big TV stuff. He's doing, which another thing against Denzel, and again, he's my favorite actor of all time. He's never done the big franchise things, which, is his decision. He's still the greatest actor of all time, if you ask me, but he's never been a part of a big, he did that Book of Eli. Man, I'm very curious. I'm just wondering, can you got me on I'll look up later. I'm wondering what the biggest box office return for Denzel Washington movie is. I would probably put my money on Book of Eli or one of the Equalizers, probably Equalizer 1, probably between those two as far as box office receipts goes. But he's never done like a big Marvel, DC, who knows what the future holds. I know a lot of people campaigning for him to be Magneto or something like that, or Galactus. So we'll see. But it's some big shoes to not replace, but to be in that same category. He's not quite there for me yet. I love Jonathan Majors, but he hasn't gotten to those Denzel vibes for me quite yet. So, but he's great. Donnie. Creed. I vote this. Saturday the next thing. Yeah, man. Let's get this. Let's get a Creed statue in Philly. That would be dope. That would be dope. He deserves it, man. I think it's Adonis is a great character for sure. He was good in the Five Bloods. Yes, thank you, Andrew. I was thinking when I was going over his catalog, I was like, I know I'm missing some big stuff, and those were the two. Yes, he was great in the Five Bloods. That film's great, and that cast. I love that film. The Harder They Fall. I need to revisit that movie because I reviewed it when it came out, and I haven't watched it since it came out. I really remember enjoying the hell out of that film. And you talk about cast, and also another black actor who's one of my favorites, Lakeith Stanfield. Man, that whole cast was great. Regina King and Lakeith. Man, I need to read. Zazie Beetz was in that thing. Man, I need to revisit that. Was it Idris Elba? It's a fire movie, man. I'm gonna probably watch that this weekend, man. Thank you, Andrew, for the reminders. Having an amazing run to 2020s. So much momentum. Oh, you talking about Jonathan? Yeah. Face of that franchise, or should I say new face? Ghostface in New York. Yeah, that's just crazy to me. Ghostface out of I'm blanking on the name of Hasbro. What is the name of the town in Scream? I can't remember. Moon, help me out. But yes, Ghostface in New York. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. B on the streets of New York. I'm from New York. I wonder if Ghostface is gonna have some Timbs on or something. What y'all think? In the bodega. I don't know. It's gonna be fun. The Screams. That trailer was. It was fire to me. The trailer for Scream 6 does look. Yeah, it looked good, Zia. It looked good. I know you're not a horror fan, but you gotta check it out. At least I hope it's good. I love me a good suspense thriller. Can't do much more of that, but which one was that we were talking about? Which film? Let me know. Justin was Scream. 65 looks great. Yeah, Adam, he's so great. Oh, shout out to my man B. Avery, man, showing some love. With the super chat, how about this? Michael B. Jordan directing a last. My man B. Avery's all about the martial arts, y'all. If you don't know, the Last Dragon remake. Jordan played Bruce Lee. Shut up. Hey man, that would be fire. Actually, that would be fire. B. So shout out to Brandon. I like that. Shout out to Brandon from Just My Opinion, man, coming through with the super chat and with the great pitch to Hollywood. Brandon, you got to pitch that to Michael B. Jordan, man. You got to get that out there. It's like Alien Jurassic Park meets Kylo Ren. Nice, talking about 65. That's a good one. I'm down for Adam Driver in a sci-fi flick. Yeah, I'm down with Adam Driver in anything. Have y'all seen? Speaking of Adam Driver, he's done a lot of stuff, but it was a really weird movie he did a couple years ago. It was on Amazon. It was a musical. Antoinette, I think was the name of it. That is a weird movie, man. It was my type of weird. It was some stuff I didn't really enjoy, but it's something, man. If y'all like musicals and if you like Adam Driver, and if you like Marianne Cotillard, it's a really good movie. It's on Amazon. I think it's called Antoinette. So if you want to see something that's just super weird, check it out. What's up, Kay? How we doing? Kevin, great idea. Definitely need to. Yeah, like I said, Brandon came through with the good one there. Right. I'm gonna miss Sydney. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if she's MIA in the film. Zia said, and if they do a 7, I think she would be a part of it. I would think it would be smart for them to bring her back. More roles for Nev. Yeah, I agree. Bring back the OG for sure. Nope, I don't like her. Yeah, I don't like that. Like I said, it's a theory that's been circulating for a couple weeks now, but we'll see. David Arquette died. Spoiler alert. We move that off the screen, but yes. For those that didn't see Scream 4, hope you were going to the bathroom during that time. No, she would be a space. I guess I should read these before I click on them. Scream 1 and 2 are the best. Okay. For me, you know what? I got a ranking video for you, Zia, to keep an eye out for when Scream 6 comes out. I have a ranking from last year is on the channel, so you can see how I place 1 through 5, but we're gonna have to update that probably when 6 comes out, right? John Wick Chapter 4. Yes. March dance full. Yeah, March is stacked, man. Is Shazam 2 the movie testers? No, the movie that allegedly people walked out on most recently was not Shazam, but Aquaman. The Lost Kingdom. I don't know. I don't buy into, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is very rare for people to walk out of it up that free at that, a test screening because number one, when you go to a test screening, someone that has recently been to one a couple months ago, it's a very professional thing. You don't just, people the studio invites you there to get your thoughts on, and also it's called test screening. So again, the visual effects typically aren't done and all that different stuff. Sometimes they rearrange certain things, they take out things, add things, all that stuff. So, but here nor there, yeah, that Shazam wasn't the film that you're referring to, Zia. That was Aquaman. So, but I still have faith. It's James Wan. The man doesn't miss. So that's why I highly doubt what the rumor is, and plus it's February. The movie doesn't come out to December, but neither here nor there. I hear you about that. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Just again, freedom of speech, whatever. But sometimes these celebrities just need to rewrite what they're writing there and double check and send it to their publicists. Okay. I agree. I love the first Ant-Man, Iron Man. Yeah, not everything needs to be an Easter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. I love the first. What's up, Eric? I love the first John Wick, but I don't know the sequels. While still good for what they are, haven't left an impression on me. Interesting, really. So I got the mildest of. Hey, man, I can respect your opinion. I'm the complete opposite. They have gotten. Again, I'll have a rankings, but I really enjoy those films, especially the last one, man. That was just so much fun, especially in the theater experience. So no, but I hear you. I hear you, Eric. Hopefully this next one's gonna blow your mind, my friend. John Wick Chapter 5. Yeah. I need Halle Berry back. And hell, let's get a spinoff with that. We got the ballerinas going around with Anna de Armas. Can we get Halle Berry? Can she get a spinoff? Let's see. Donnie Yen, Bill Skarsgård. The cast is crazy. I would much rather have a spinoff, which we will be getting with the ballerina. Her whole sequence in No Time to Die she's great. I'm a big Ana de Armas fan. Been following her career for a while too. I think the first thing I saw her in was whenever War Dogs came out. I think that was like 2013, 2014. Her, Jonah Hill, and Miles Teller. It was an okay film, but I really enjoyed her. She was in a Keanu Reeves film. I can't remember the name of it. It was like Knock Knock or something. It was a horror film, and it was she was in that. So there's going to be a reunion if they do cross paths in John Wick universe, which I think they will. But yeah, and then of course Blade Runner 2049. She was fantastic as Love in that film, and she's just a great actress. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with her with that spinoff. Silver talking about D&D. This one is for me, the D&D movie. LOL. I don't play, but it looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun, and I'm excited for it. Live action, Vox Machina. Yeah, isn't Amazon, right? Isn't it based on D&D? I haven't watched the show, but isn't that a D&D adjacent series or IP? It's action. Yeah, I'm about that action, Kevin. I'm about that action, bro. So yeah. Let's see here. Nothing exciting. Rocky franchise, probably 2025. Retro poster. I forgot what movie. Mando. Yeah, we'll be talking about that here in a second. If you decide to go live for Scream, I'm there. Oh, okay, Kay, hit me up. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel, Kay. Yeah. I don't know if I'll do a live stream for it, but probably a pre-recorded spoiler discussion. So yeah, I'll definitely keep you in mind if I do put a panel together. I'm honestly, depending on my schedule, I might just do like a solo quick, in and explain or something like that. But yeah, no, if I do decide to do a spoiler discussion and put together a panel, hit me up. If you're not already on Instagram or Twitter, hit me up. And let's see what we can do for sure. Eric, what's up, man? You coming at the John Wick franchise. Now you say you have zero excitement for Scream, but my friends go, I might go with them. No, I know Scream's not for everyone, Eric, so I get that, man. But yeah, I love the Scream franchise. Denzel is real serious. Can he do comedy? He is serious. He's done some comedy. He's done some, I wouldn't say the preacher. So he's done some, he can get funny, right? But he isn't, you wouldn't think of Denzel as I don't think I've seen, no. There was a film, one of his first films that I haven't seen in a very long time. It's like, it came out in the 80s and it was like him body swapping with the police officer. He's obviously he's a black man. The police officer was white, and they like swap bodies, and that was like a bit of a. I didn't find it funny, and I saw it when I was much younger, so I don't remember a lot of it. What was the name of that movie? Carbon Copy? Was that it? Is that the movie I'm talking about? It might be. It might be Carbon Copy, Young Man, somehow native. I think this is the film I'm talking about. It came out in the 80s, 81. It's a comedy drama. Michael Schwartz directed it, and it stars Denzel and George Siegel. I think that's the film I'm talking about, where they swap bodies. I believe I might be wrong. I don't know. I might be wrong there, but it is a movie where he does swap bodies with a police officer that I can't think of the name of right now. But yeah, I'm looking at his filmography. Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of comedies. Yeah, you're right. But he's a serious dude. He's the best. He's the GOAT. But who knows, man? The second half of his career, he might do some more comedies. We'll see. Let's see. The highest grossing. Oh, thank you. That was a question we had earlier. Highest grossing films rated Philadelphia. I don't believe the Equalizer. Oh, I thought Equalizer was even higher. Inside Man, Deja Vu, Unstoppable Flight, and the Book of Eli. I knew it was going to be between Equalizer, which was number 5, and the Book of Eli. Okay, gotcha. I'm surprised Equalizer didn't do that well, and Equalizer 2 didn't even make the. Am I reading that right? Yeah, Equalizer 2 didn't even make the top 10. That's crazy. But yeah. Eric coming through. Two Guns was a comedy. Him and Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, that was a comedy. I didn't really like the film. Was that Peter Berg that directed it? I didn't really like that film, but it was a comedy. So Eric, ding ding ding, points to you, my friend. The only TV show Denzel was done was saying, yeah, I knew he did like a little bit of TV, but nothing like on the scale of Woodsboro. Thank you. Listen, you talking. My mind's all over the place, man. Woods, thank you, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you. See, you talking. She ain't making fun of me. She ain't put that LOL in there, man. Players mess up too. You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, Denzel did do TV. But like I said, not that show wasn't on the scale of Lovecraft. Moonlight. Can't wait for Severance 2. You and me both. And Only Murders in the Building season 3 and After Parties. I don't know what After Parties is. It sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is. But I know me some Only Murders in the Building season 3, starring obviously Selena, Steve, and Martin Short. But then newcomers, we have Paul Rudd and oh my goodness, I can't believe they got her on the show. Meryl Streep will be part of season 3. I can't wait, man. That's going to be a great season. I can't wait for that, as well as Severance. Oof, I cannot wait for Severance season 2. All right, Shazam 2 is easily my most nice. Very, very cool. All right, y'all. So let's move on to our next bit of. Okay, yeah. Okay, I didn't know that was your handle or your little icon. I know who you are. Yes, and I know you in the horror hooch. Y'all speak my language. So yes. We'll definitely get something on the books. He was funny as Alonzo, and you mother. That's not okay. Who help me out in the chat? What was the movie where he swaps bodies? Mark, help me. And I'm not tripping. I'm not making this up. There is a movie where he literally swaps bodies with a white man in the film. He like gets hit by a car. He doesn't swap bodies. He's a ghost. I think the white. It's been a minute. Help me out, Mark, and everyone in the chat. What is the name of that damn movie? But all right, let's move on to our streaming services here. I said I was going to be an hour. We're an hour and a half, but hey, we're having fun, y'all. Where were we at? All right, so moving on to our next bit of content coming out, and then we're pivoting now. So let's pivot over to what's coming to streaming services. So we talked about the stuff coming into theaters. Let's talk about what's coming to Netflix this month of March. And coming out Thursday, March 9th, we have You Season 4 Part 2 coming out. Now, again, this is a Part 2 of a Part 1. If you all have been following the show, if you all have been following this particular series, it has definitely been shaping up to be something very interesting. Again, we have Joel Goldberg, who's now going from New York. He then went to LA for a short period of time, and now he finds himself in London. And if you've seen part one, I don't want to spoil it here, but you know that there were definitely some unanswered questions revolving around Mr. Jonathan Moore, as should I call him. And it ended in a very interesting way. And now we're talking about part two, y'all. So without giving too much away, because I am under embargo, I have seen part two. I literally finished it today. And I'll just say this. If you're a fan of the series, you're going to watch it, obviously. But if you were a fan of part one, you're going to be a fan of part two, because I'll just say this: part two is crazy. It is crazy, man. There's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of stuff I didn't see coming, some stuff I saw coming, but most of the stuff I didn't see. There are some people we haven't seen in a while coming in part two, and Joe is just he's dealing with a lot in part two, man. So again, if you enjoyed part one, you're definitely going to want to obviously finish part two, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So like I had said, I have seen all of part two. I have shot all of the reviews. So by the time this video is uploaded, I'm going to have, I got a lot of editing to do, but we will have a full breakdown of each episode, like I did with part one, where I'm breaking down episode 6, 7, 8, 9, and doing an ending explain, and then making one gigantic video that's going to recap the entire fourth season. So any of you fans out there, let me know in the chat and in the comments if you're excited for part two, coming to Netflix on March 9th. All right, y'all. So moving on to our next bit, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I haven't seen the continuation of the series. I saw 1 or 2 episodes, and I'm talking about Luther, which will be a movie. It is The Fallen Son. So again, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you all are Luther fans. And if you're excited for this film. Again, I've seen 1 or 2 episodes of Luther. Very great television series. Idris Elba is fantastic. It hits on those kind of Sherlock Holmes with a little bit of edge to it, with his what he does and how he's able to get through certain things and navigate through life of what he does. So again, I have to catch up. But again, let me know if your boy should catch up and if I should be excited for this film, because obviously it's Idris Elba. But as far as this Luther film, let me know where you are at with your anticipation and your excitement level for this new movie for Luther. Moving on to our following week on a Thursday. This is a series I was a fan of, y'all. This is Bones and Shadow Season 2. Now, I'm going to keep it at 110% with you all. I loved the first season, but it was, we were talking about D&D earlier. There's a lot of lore with this show, and it's based on novels. It's based on a series of books, which I haven't read, but I watched the first season. I fell in love with these characters. I'm a fantasy fiend, so I love fantasy, and this is definitely kind of, Narnia, a little bit of Lord of the Rings isms going on, but there's a lot of almost kind of a Harry Potter vibe, because there's different fractions and powers. There's people that can, illuminate light from their hands, fires. You can see Ben Barnes. He has some magical abilities. It's a really good show, man. Again, I'm going to have to watch my review to kind of refresh my memory. And again, the only reason I don't remember much of it is because it came out a couple years ago, number one. And if you all follow this channel, I watch a lot of movies and shows. So sometimes like you remember the characters, like, yeah, I like that character, I like that story. I remember what happened at the end, but how we got there, some of that stuff's a little bit blurry. So I'm going to have to revisit, watch a recap or something of my own and catch myself up. But again, I remember enjoying the fantasy elements, the characters. I believe it was a group called the Crow, which it was like we're split up in different missions. We have the Crows doing their thing. We got our main character dealing with Ben Barnes and this army of darkness, and they're trying to consume the world with darkness. So I remember all that stuff. And then there was some other plots I didn't really care for, involving like a soldier. He captures this girl, and it didn't really add up to anything. But I remember people saying, I read the books, like, oh, that's an important storyline that's going to have a payoff later on. So I'm a fan for it. It has some romance, but not too much romance. It does a good balance of making you care for these characters. It has a lot of action in it. It has a lot of, like I said, it was, for someone that didn't read the books, I'll be honest, it's a lot to take in. It took me a little bit, like a couple episodes to really kind of, and not from it wasn't because the show didn't handle it a lot. It's just a lot to take in because it's a lot of lore, it's a lot of world building. So I'm really looking forward to this new season, and I hope that it's going to continue, and if not be on the same par of season 1, be even better. So here's the hoping, y'all. That is Shadow and Bone season 2 coming back to Netflix for its second season on Thursday, March 16th. So let me know if you all are excited about that. Speaking of excitement, I'm not too excited about that, but hey, I saw the first one. I'm a fan of these actors. I don't know if I'll watch it though. Let me know if there's any fans of Murder Mystery 2. Now, this is Adam Sandberg, that's, growing up, Billy Madison and all that different stuff. I love him as an actor. He's a great comedic actor. He's also a great drama actor. Jennifer Aniston, obviously Rachel from Friends, and she's built her own career and kind of got out of that shadow of just being that from Rachel. She has, she's a really respectable actress. This film, and this came out, let me know in the comments. This film came out like 4 or 5 years ago, right? If I'm not mistaken. But I will say this. I'm not surprised they made a sequel. I'm just surprised it took so long to make a sequel. We all know Netflix doesn't show their numbers, especially they don't have box office. But I remember when I see when it's like the most watched movies, the highest movie numbers as far as watch time and how many people watch it in the world. Look it up now. I'm going to do the research and put it on the screen once I find it. But this is one of the most highest watched movies on Netflix. So it makes sense why they would make a sequel. But it might be one of those situations where it's like too little too late. Like, you're not making Star Wars. Why is it taking 4 or 5 years? It might not be that long, but I'm pretty confident that it's been at least 3 years. And it shouldn't, obviously you want films to take its time and make the best script. Probably, 2019 is when this film came out. So 4 years ago. So we'll see, man. Let me know if you all are fans of Murder Mystery and if you're excited for part 2. We'll see. Hey, this might be a hit. This might be the funniest film of the year. I doubt it, but we'll see. So there are all the films coming to Netflix. Let me know in the comments, and of course, those watching live, which ones you're most excited for in the live chat, and we'll get to you guys' comments here. But let's move on to what's coming out to one of my favorite streaming services. It's all about quality and not quantity, Netflix. We're talking about Apple TV Plus, y'all. I'm a big fan of Apple TV Plus, and we got a big show making its return, and that is the third and I think final season of the one and only Ted Lasso. Now, not going to get into the details, but I have some catching up to do because it wasn't Ted Lasso. I love the show. I covered it on this channel, but it was Warner Brothers. They did your boy dirty on something, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I was like, man, forget Ted Lasso season 2. I'll come back when I get over my feelings. I'm kind of getting over it. I got to catch up because, again, by all accounts, what I'm hearing is this is the last season, which is sad, but I love when shows have a beginning, middle, and an end versus dragging out, we'll figure this plot out in season 6. Like, no, if you only had 3 seasons in mind, and yes, it's popular, it wins Emmys every year, but you don't want to ruin something good. So if this is to be the last season of Ted Lasso, hopefully they go on high. I got to catch up, but if you've been watching Ted Lasso season 1, season 2, and of course you're excited for season 3, let me know in the comment section. Apple TV Plus, it's a great service, man. It's a great service. So let's move on to the big one, Disney Plus. They got a lot of good stuff. Marvel, Pixar, Disney animated, but then they also have this little small niche. It's not popular. They have Star Wars. I don't know if you all had heard of Star Wars, but there's a show making its return, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the way. The Mandalorian, season 3, baby. Oh, yeah. Din, he's back. And that Baby Yoda. I'm sorry, not Baby Yoda. Grogu. He's coming back, y'all. Now, if you've been following this series, and in particularly these characters, because if you saw Boba Fett, which wasn't a fan of the book of Boba Fett, was not a fan, but there was like a little mini series within a series that involved the Mandalorian, Din, and Grogu. Some Luke Skywalker, some Ahsoka Tano, some training. He decided to go a different path. He's going down the path of a Mandalorian, but he's also took up some skills with Luke Skywalker. So he's a little bit of Jedi, a little bit of Mandalorian, and here we are with season 3, y'all. So I'm a fan of this series. As I'm recording this on Tuesday night, it will be premiering on Wednesday. So by the time this video is uploaded, the series would have premiered, and I'm very excited to see what Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have cooked up with the amazing directors that they work with. I believe Rick Famuyiwa will be returning. You gotta bring back Bryce Dallas Howard because she has surprised the hell out of me as a director with the first episode she directed in season 1 or 2 was okay, right? It was when he went to the village and he was saving them from the machines and all that stuff. That was an okay episode. But man, when she directed that episode with Bo-Katan and get into the Mandalorian lore and all that stuff, I Love Bryce Dallas Howard in the Star Wars universe. Give her a series, y'all. Give her a spinoff of a Bo-Katan series. Let her do some more Star Wars because she's doing her damn thing. And they have some other new directors coming on for season 3. So yeah, this is the way. This is the way. Mandalorian season 3 premiering on March 1st, man. It's here, y'all. It's here. So that's kind of the big thing coming to Disney Plus. Let's move on and go to another quantity service. I think it's the best premium shows on television, and it has been for a couple decades, and that's HBO and the addition of HBO Max. What's coming out this month? Well, we got a show by the name of Perry Mason, y'all. I am a Perry Mason fan. I didn't watch it when I was, when it was out back in the day because I wasn't even born. But this is a character that does go back all the way to the like the 40s and 50s and 60s, if I'm not mistaken. And now this is another show. I'm not gonna lie. It took a while for him to come back. Perry Mason first premiered, I want to say in 2020 because I covered it on the channel. You can check out my reviews here. Yeah, 2020 is when the show came out. So it's been 3 years, y'all. It's been 3 years, and that's a long time to wait for a new series that had a lot of momentum. They got to find it again, and hopefully it's a good season. So March 6th, which is on a Monday, shout out to HBO. They gave me the screeners a couple days ago, so I'm going to probably try to watch the first episode. And if the demand is there, if the fandom is there, if people are loving the discussion, we will be doing what we did with season 1, which is covering it week by week. And it's one of those shows where I think it does have enough meat on the bone to have the speculation because it's a Perry Mason. He's a detective. He's trying to figure out a crime and a murder. So it's a lot of conversations. Who done it? Is it that person? Is it this person? What's the motives? What's this character about? So it's one of those shows. And like I said, if you know Perry Mason, he goes back a while. So again, if the demand is there, if the people want to talk about it, we will be covering it every single week. So come out and support, when I drop that review on Monday after the episode premieres. And if you all, like I said, are on board, because we did it for season 1, I covered every episode, we can do it again for season 2, coming to HBO March 6th. Let me know if there's any Perry Mason fans in the building. All right, y'all, I'm excited. This is one of my favorite shows ever. Like, this is one of my favorite shows of all time, man. And it's breaking my heart to say this. It's the last season of Succession. That's right. March 26th on a Sunday. If YouTube didn't have copyrights, I would play that fire theme. I just hear it in my head right now. No. Ah, man, the Logan family, y'all. Roy, Kendall, man, Siobhan, the whole damn crew, man. Tom, Greg, they're coming back, and for one last time, man. It's going to be sad to see them go. But like I said when I was talking about Ted Lasso, I would much rather creators have a plan to have a beginning, a middle, and an end versus dragging something out. Because if I'm being honest, when I covered the show on the channel a year and a half ago, I've always anticipated the show to go at least 5 seasons. Well, I should say at the maximum 5 seasons. But I said I wouldn't be surprised if they stopped at a season 4. And that is the case. They will be ending its season with the 4th season. If you've been following along, you all know how season 3 ended with, Logan. I said the Logan family, the Roy family. Logan, he has abandoned the kids, and they have to fend for their own. So, Siobhan, Rome, and Kendall have to put their egos aside, and they want to have the mansion, the cars, the money, the respect, the egos they've grown. They got to make some money on their own because Papa Logan Roy, he's working with Alexander Skarsgård's character, and they got their own thing going, man. And Adrian Brody's in the mix, so I'm a big fan of this series, man. I loved it since the first day I saw it. It's such a good show. It's like Game of Thrones without the supernatural dragons and White Walkers, because it's the drama, it's the character, it's the family, it's the backstabbing, it's the political angles they go with. It's this big conglomerate of this one man that has built TV shows, theme parks, has stocks out of the guru. I mean, it's just all on one man. He's coming to the end of his, it's called Succession. So who is the child that will take on the mantle of this family and the legacy? And right now, none of the kids are in good graces with their dad. But I tell you who is in good grace. Again, if you've seen season 3, Tom, How's the married life with Siobhan, with the move you made at the end of that season, man? Ooh, I love Succession, man. I can't wait for this new season. But let me know in the chat and let me know in the comments if you all are Succession fans. If you're not, listen, there's a reason why it wins Emmys every year. It's a reason why, these actors get awards every year and best writing, best drama. It's a fantastic series, man. It is spectacular. And I'm sad to see it go, but I have a feeling it's going to go out on a high. So that is Succession, the fourth and final season, coming to HBO on March 26th. All right, y'all. And again, for those that watch my season 3 breakdowns every week, which I had so much fun covering that series, with this being the last season, I am hoping that HBO allows me to get to screeners again so I can plan it out and, do the notes and really do a breakdown like I did for season 3. And we may or may not do watch parties because it is the final season. So we'll see. But I'm really excited for it. Let me know in the chat if you all are. So moving on to our last big streaming service, and that is Amazon Prime Video. What's coming out? There's a lot of stuff with Amazon, but there's one thing that has my attention, and that is based on my experience with another series from the same creator that's making this series. He's a co-creator, and that is on March 17th on a Friday, Swarm. Now, as far as I know, I think they're going to drop all the episodes on one day. So it's 8 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. I'm reaching out to Amazon trying to get the screenings where I can break it all down for you all. But this is something I'm excited for a couple reasons. Number one, I mentioned how I'm a fan of the creators. One of those creators is Donald Glover, and he created one of my favorite series of all time, which ended last year, and that was Atlanta. So he's bringing that flavor to Amazon. He did a deal with them a couple years ago, and this is one of his shows that he's going to be doing for them. Dominique Fishback is starring as our main character. I don't know the names of the characters quite yet, but she is playing our lead character. And if you've seen the trailer, if you haven't, it's a very interesting show. So the premise is you have this young lady who is obsessed with this artist. And if you've seen the trailer and if you saw the title, Swarm, artist, R&B, it's playing on the ideas of someone stalking a Beyonce-like figure. And she is very obsessed. And again, you saw the picture here is blood. So if you get in her way, if you stop her from meeting her icon that she loves, whoever this character in this fictitious world is, which when they announced this in the Hollywood Reporter or Deadline or Variety, they said, and this was their words, they said this is adjacent to Atlanta. This is a sister series of Atlanta. So I wouldn't be surprised for Atlanta fans out there if there's a couple Easter eggs in Swarm that might allude to this taking place in the Atlanta universe. Whether that, if you've seen Atlanta, there was the white Justin Bieber, if there's like an owl poster in the background, Paperboy in the background, I would love that. And if I'll tell you something right now, it probably won't happen. And listen, if there's no Atlanta connections, it won't, it won't change my experience of the show because I don't expect them. This is not Atlanta. This isn't Atlanta season 2 or season 5. This is his own show. I'm just saying, I'm just speculating here. Donald Glover's attached. They have said that this is a sister series of Atlanta. So they put that out there. And just because you're a sister series doesn't mean it's kind of like a spinoff, right? It's like just because you're a spinoff of a main IP doesn't mean you have to make all the connections of the main story. I'm just saying, if I see a Paperboy poster, if I see one of those characters popping up like in the background or have like a quick scene, Van, Ern, Darius, I will freak out. That's all I'll say, because I hold that show near and dear to my heart. I was so sad to see it go. Ended on a really good high. I miss those discussions that we have in Atlanta. But hopefully this new series, and from what I can tell, again, dropping all on Amazon on one day, it's probably a one and done series, like a mini series to explore this character who's, obsessing over this artist. And it's going to probably tackle on that obsessive nature, people getting attached, making up things in their head and doing things to get their way. So it's going to probably tackle all that. And it seems like it's a satire, black comedy too. So it's going to be some comedic beats, but it's also going to be, like I said, very based on the trailer, very, very serious, very drama filled. And again, if you watched Atlanta's funny as hell, but Atlanta could get dark, y'all. And especially Donald Glover. He don't play around, man. So y'all know, there's some darkness in Atlanta. I'm talking about Teddy Perkins, if you know what I mean. And even the last season got pretty dark and scary with the ghost and all that stuff. But I'm excited for it, man. Let me know in the comments in the live chat if you all are looking forward to Swarm coming to Amazon on the 17th of March. And let's get excited, man, because it's Donald Glover, it's TV, it's Dominic Fishback. It might be a hit, man. It might be a hit. But there you have it, y'all. Those are all the streaming movies, streaming shows with your Netflixes of the world, your Amazon Prime, your Disney Plus, your HBO. So let me know in the comments, what of all those shows, what of all those movies are you most excited for? What movies and shows? Because listen, that was just the things that got me excited that I'm familiar with. There's a bazillion other things on Netflix and all the other streaming services that I probably missed. So let me know in the chat which I should be excited for. And based on my rundown here, you can expect a lot of content from this channel. Movie reviews, in and explains, spoiler discussions, week-to-week TV breakdowns. It's a lot of stuff. I'm going to have to find a way to clone myself, to watch all this stuff, to review all this stuff, but I'm excited for it because you guys make it fun. You make it excited. So I hope you all are looking forward to all the fun stuff that we have lined up for the month of March. So like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll catch you guys on the next breakdown. So I'm going to piece that out, make it a separate video. We're still here. We're still live. That was just my little outro for when I cut it together. So now let's get back to the chat and let me know what were you all saying when I was talking that whole damn time. All right. Let's get back to the chat. All right. I think I said to put a star where I left. Okay, I'm not too far off. I think I'm catching up to where you guys. Yep, my man was giving me the info. Yep. All right, so we're right around here when Yataka was making fun of me. Yes, that's where we were at. Let's see. All right, let me see. Start. Yeah, we talked about the Mandalorian. I'm excited to see how many of you all are looking forward to this new season. Apple TV. Need content. They got content, Kevin. I talked about it earlier, man. They got a full library of some great stuff, and they continue to build out their library. So it's a lot of great stuff there. Thank you. Heart Condition. 60+ reviews. That was the film I was talking about earlier with Denzel Washington, where I might have botched the story and what's going on. But yes, we were talking about Denzel earlier and him not necessarily gravitating towards comedy, and not that the film, from what I remember, was like a full out comedy, but it had some comedic beats to it. It was kind of like a buddy cop type of film. But yes. Thank you. I knew someone was gonna know what I was talking about. Shout out to you. I see this right there. Yes, it was. Yeah. What did I say it was? I said it was a carbon copy or something like that. Which you can't blame me. I mean, it's pretty carbon copy. I thought it was a story about someone, body swapping, but anyway, 60+ reviews with the $5 super chat. Thank you. Heart Condition was the movie. You swap bodies with Bob Hopkins. Yes. Thank you. Coming through. I appreciate you. 60+ reviews. That is, again, I haven't seen that movie in such a long time, but I remember being like, I can't believe Denzel made this. It was early in his career, but I wouldn't recommend it. But thank you, 60+ reviews for the super chat and to helping your boy out. Thank you. Is that Denzel Washington movie Fallen in 1998 where he switched body? Oh, he's done some body swapping films. Fallen wasn't that not a horror film, but that was like a psychological thriller, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I've seen some of those 90 Denzels. But yeah, I'm waiting for Power Book. Hey man, I haven't even opened that chapter. Any of the chapters. I'm so behind on Power, but I hear a lot of people love that show, which is good. A racist cop receives. Yes, this is the film we were just talking about. Receives a heart transplant from a black guy he hates who returns it. Yes, that's what it was. Maxine. Thank you. It's not a good movie, but if you want to see Denzel do some hokey stuff, that was that. Yeah, I can't wait for Shadow and Bones fire. Denzel plays cops. He does, and he's pretty damn good at it. Idris Elba. What was that? Idris Elba hasn't been in any. Wait, dang! I love Idris Elba, but haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't. Like I've seen 1 or 2 episodes, and I heard it's great. Eric, I got to catch up on it, man. I love him as an actor. Shadow and Bone had problems, but it was funny. Yeah. Like I said, I remember it was a couple plots. I remember one plot in particular where it was like this guard who was like a bad guy, and he got linked up with like one of the good characters, and then like they fall in love. I was like, that story was so stupid. Every time we checked in on them, it didn't even add up to anything. But from people that read the books were telling me, because I remember in the comments, they was like, no, this is an important plot. You know, they're important characters. I'm like, well, the first season didn't show me that, but we'll see. Let's see here. I love murder mysteries, but didn't really enjoy the film. Yeah, no, it had like one or two good laughs, but again, we listen. I enjoy Netflix for what it is, more so their series than their movies. They've stepped their movies up. You know, obviously they've had Oscar, not winners, but nominated films in the last few years. But yeah, their movies are typically a miss for me, especially comedies. But I'm one of those weirdos where if I see a first one and there's a sequel, like just for the fact that I saw the first one, I have like this thing in the back of my brain, like, man, well, you saw the first one. You might as well just see what the sequel is. So I'll probably end up watching it, but not making a big deal out of it. And probably not watching it like when it first drops. If you haven't seen Jennifer, Cake is a really great movie. That was with her and Owen Klein, Clive Owen. Is that his name? Because he's been missing. He's a great actor. He's a very underrated actor. I think it's Clive Owen. That is a good movie. When they're on the train. Thank you, Maxine. Yeah, y'all see, this is what I love going live with y'all, man. Y'all be coming through with the great suggestions and the great movie recommendations. I believe that is the film I'm thinking of with Clive Owen. It's a good like mystery, man. And yes, you're so right, Jennifer. And I don't think I said she's a bad actress. I was just saying how, you know, mostly people, you would think that with a show so big as Friends, that you can get, you know, typecasted and only be as big as that show. Because if we're being honest, a lot of those other actors, you know, I'm talking about Joey. I can't think of the actor's name, but the character that played Joey and Matthew, you know, a lot of those actors didn't become bigger than that show. But Jennifer Aniston, to me, managed to kind of make a career besides being known as Rachel from that show. And I'm just looking at her filmography. She's been a part of some. I love The Breakup. That film is hilarious. There's some stinkers in there. Horrible Bosses was hilarious. I didn't like the second one. Like I said, you got some hit or misses, but that film you're referring to, Cake, was really, really good. I think that's the one with Clive Owen. No, it's not. I don't know what film I'm talking about. That is not the film with Clive Owen. What film was I thinking of with Clive Owen, where it was like there was this mystery? I could have sworn he did a film with Jennifer Aniston. And you guys are watching someone live. Just this is what I do sometimes. I was like, man, what is the name of that movie? You know. So what movie am I thinking of, y'all? With Clive Owen and Jennifer Aniston. Weren't they in a movie together? If they were, it's not sticking out. I'm just gonna type Clive Owen and Jennifer Aniston. We are live. You guys are watching a man's brain fail him right now. His memory. Jennifer Aniston. Derailed. I knew there was a movie with them in 2005. It's called Derailed. That was another good movie. But the film you're talking about, Cake, is another good movie. I digress. I'm going to watch Adam Sandler still makes movies like Hustle. Yeah, that's so crazy about Adam Sandler. And look, Adam Sandler to me is a perfect example of someone that does what they love. I don't think he would blatantly say that, yeah, you know, some of those movies I make are pretty garbage, but he's having a good time, man. And that's what life's about. Do what you love with the people you love. And he does a lot of movies with friends of his. So, but then every now and then, like you mentioned, Hustle, Uncut Gems, Spanglish, or whatever the name of that movie was, Rain Under Fire, or Rain on Me. He can get dramatic. He's a great actor. He's a really great actor. So yeah. Yep. Mando, Pedro's the dad of the year. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 2 weeks in this month or next month where we're going to have multiple days of Pedro Pascal. Last of Us, last few episodes of that, and then the remaining, 8 episodes that we're going to get with Mando. So yeah, he's having a good year. I don't know who's having a better year, Jonathan Majors or Pedro Pascal. It's a tough one. Let me know in the chat. Who's having a better year so far? Let me know. HBO has been the best by far. Oh yeah, it's not even close. The comment, like AMC for a while was competing with HBO, like with Breaking Bad, Mad Men, stuff like that. But it's not even a competition. It's like it's HBO and then it's everyone else, for me at least. The The Servant series finale is in March, correct? Let me guess. It's Rosemary Baby or Madame Suspiria. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Perry Mason was good. It was good. It was good. The first season was really good. I've not seen Perry Mason, but no, it's producer. Yeah, RBJ and interest. Yeah. Yeah, it was a really good show, man. I really hope the second season, like I said, they've been off the air for quite a few years, but it's great for theory and discussion. I'll be watching Perry Mason. Nice, nice. Cue the epic intro music. Yeah, man. I love Succession. I couldn't make it through the first season of Perry Mason, but the great review chat comments got me curious. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Again, it had its ups and downs, but it ended on a good high for me, from what I remember with that first murder case with the baby and all that stuff. The old Perry Mason was good. Yeah, I didn't want. Well, I wasn't alive, but I never seen the reruns. I think my grandmother used to watch a couple episodes, but I never like gravitated towards it. Andrew, top 5 TV. Oh yeah, 100%, Andrew. If you're referring to Succession, yeah. Zia, Succession is genius. It's so good, and when HBO gets it right, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. How come you never talk about Godfather of Harlem? Season 3 episodes are released every week on Epic. Well, to answer your question, I don't have Epic. That's why I don't watch it. I don't have Epic. I don't have Showtime. So I know people say, "Hey, the Powerverse or is no Stars. I don't have any of those S's in the Epic. So I haven't watched Godfather of Harlem, BLM, Power, Ghost, all those shows because I don't have the streaming services to watch them. I also know a lot of people recommend Yellow Jackets, which is coming out this month. I didn't bring it up because I don't watch it, so I don't even know who's what, right? So, but yeah, unfortunately, I just don't. To answer your question, I don't have the streaming service to watch it. But yeah, 4 seasons a good run. Yeah. You talk about Succession. Yeah, we got some Succession fans in here. I love to see it. I wish we actually got a final season of Westworld. Surprised they canceled it. Yeah, Eric, I think I mentioned on the channel a few times. I've seen Westworld, the films, when I was younger and enjoyed it for what it was. I'm a big sci-fi fan, and I couldn't, whatever it was, Eric, I couldn't get into that first season and I watched the first season of Westworld, but I just didn't move along with it, man. So, and that's not Christopher Nolan, but his brother. He does that show, plus some other great talent. And it has a great cast, don't get me wrong. I don't know, man. I just couldn't get into it. Oh, speaking of getting into it, I haven't gotten to Succession yet. Oh man, you gotta get into it, bro. It's a man, the Ken rap. We gotta get one more rap. Before they wrap up the show, right? So we gotta have Ken on the 1-2s. I will check out. Yeah, I'm really excited for Swarm. Yeah. Swarm's gonna be a good binge, baby. Yeah, I hope so. Again, if Amazon gets back to me, the goal would be, if time allows it, because this is the first time I've ever done that, where I broke down. I did this for you, where I did all the episodes because I was lucky enough to get them in advance, so I was able to schedule my time around watching an episode, reviewing it, watching it, reviewing it. So I did that for all 10 episodes of you. So if they hit me back, hopefully in the next week or two, I can watch Swarm again. I believe it's 8 episodes. I can, watch them. I'm going to probably review it, but I would like to, if it's the quality, if it's worth enough episodes, if each episode is worth talking about, then I'll probably do an episode by episode breakdown. But if not, I'll definitely review it though. Might have missed it, but there you go. I just answered. Yeah. I don't have that. I don't have Showtime. I have literally everything except for Showtime, Epic, which I think are 2 of the same, or maybe not. I don't have Stars. I don't have Paramount Plus. I don't have Peacock. So, because it's really, and no offense, it's just those shows, I'm just not like over the moon about those shows that they have on their platform. Nothing against them. I know Showtime has. Again, I heard Yellow Jacket is great. What's the one show that people were like freaking out of a couple of years ago? It's like a science fiction horror show. It's like a 1-word show. Like, not us, not them. From it's From. I think From is on Showtime or Epic or something like that, which I heard was great. So yeah, man. Hey, if someone want to hook your boy up with a year free of Epic or Showtime, then maybe I can fit it into the schedule. But yeah, Swarm sounds like Candyman spinoff. Yeah, it does. I mean, I don't know if there's any supernatural elements to it, but as far as like this idea, how Candyman was just myth and legend that no one believed in until you said his name, and comparing that to this character, that it's going to be playing Beyonce, and this idea. Well, first off, this bee swarm. I get that connection there, but this whole idea of like you make these human celebrities, you put them on this pedestal where they're almost like myth or legend, and you make up this thing that they're beyond a normal human being. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, man. With the obviously Donald Glover's influence, and I believe his brother's writing a couple episodes. So I'm hoping it's one of those like really good shows. I hope so. So yeah, like I said, they it was not my words, their words. It's a sister series to Atlanta, which again doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's in the same universe, but if it is, ooh boy, yeah. Like I said, I'm just gonna check it out for the simple fact that number one, it looks interesting, but then you add in the sense that it's same creators from Atlanta. So yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. Swarm trailer look like Dominic. Yeah, she's another young up and coming actress that has been in some what was it, Powerless, whatever that film was with her and Jamie Foxx. She was good in it, and the film was okay. But then she was also in Black Messiah, and I know she's going to be in the new Transformers. So she's another good up and coming actress that has like made some very interesting genre projects that I really appreciate. She's not typecasted. She's not just putting herself in a box. So yeah, she's another up and coming actress that I'm really excited to see her career keep building out. And shout out to her, man. I'm really excited to see what she's gonna do in this show. Yeah, he does do comedy in dark tones well. Yeah, 100% agree with you, Silver. Justin is saying Mando season 3, Scream 6, Sex Life season 2. I don't know what Sex Life is. That a Netflix show? Justin, let me know. Yeah, March is gonna be crazy. Cassandra's going, ooh, it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be sleeping and waking up, watching movies, sleeping again, watching the show. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a fun month, y'all. So again, hopefully you all are subscribed, hitting that notification bell. Man, the end of Serving got me nervous. You and me both. We talk about it every week, man. Are they gonna give us the answers that we've been seeking? What is Leanne? What is the figure? What is the ghost figure? What does the cult members? What's going on with Dorothy and Julian's mom? What's up with baby Jericho? Is Julian or Sean, did they have a pass in the church? I mean, so much, man, with only 3 episodes left. I'm going to AMC in the Village. Nice. Have a good time. Jay saying, I'm going to look into Swarm. Yeah, man, check out the trailer. It comes out March 17th, and your boy will be watching it. This March is kind of lame compared to last month or last March though, because the Batman, I was never over the moon. The Batman's pretty dope, man. I mean, I'll admit, and that was that the only like big thing in March though, Justin, or not Justin, but Eric, because if so, I mean, we got some other big stuff to look forward to in this month. But yeah, no, I hear you, man. I love the Batman last year, but. We got Creed, we got John Wick. I know you're not a fan of, but I am. And a lot of other stuff. So we'll see, man. And plus TV shows too. We got to put that into account. Some great shows that we're going to be looking into this month. Apple Plus could stand to get. I don't know why the service doesn't have release. Oh man, no, I don't think so, man. Like I said, they make their own content. They don't do the Netflix thing where they buy a bunch of already established IPs, and that's so the Netflix it was a smart plan and also a stupid plan, because Netflix they bought all the stuff, Office, Friends, and they had licensed. And once those shows license expired, a lot of people went with those shows to their independent streaming services. So it was smart to get all the people, because it's like, of course, we love reruns of our favorite shows. Like Office is one of my favorite sitcoms of all time. So, you just had The Office playing on in the background just for the hell of it. But then once those things ran out, then they had to create their own IPs, right? And it's been, a lot of ups, Stranger Things and all the, Orange and New Black and all the great shows they've given, Dark, so on and so forth. But the thing that Netflix is doing, they've only been, keep this in mind too, man, they've only been around since 2019. So I would say Apple TV Plus is in a much better position on a lot of different fronts than Netflix was when they first started, right? Because you got to remember, Netflix started off as DVDs and all that different stuff, and then they eventually evolved to what they became. And they were they were the kings of what they did. But obviously, as time went by, you got other services that are really competing with them. So, but again, I am I truly mean this. I think Apple is in a much better position in their first 3 years than Netflix was in their first 3 years. Because again, like I said, it wasn't until Houses and New Cards and Orange and New Black and Stranger Things until they got popular. And they were already around for like 6 or 7 years, like low key for 6 or 7 years. So listen, I disagree with you, man. I don't think Netflix or Apple needs to put a bunch of nonsense, because that's not, I don't want to get into this. I'm on a rant right now. It's another thing with Netflix, man. They just got too much stuff on their platform, and it's just like it's quality control. It's like you got all this stuff. It's just like a smorgasbord of just this nonsense. So it's hard to keep up with it. So we're, Apple, what they've been doing, every couple months you get a new movie. Every couple months you get a new series, and they allow their creators to be creators. They don't rush people, and so listen, we might disagree, but I don't think they need to have a ton of stuff on their platform right now. It's like fine wine. It's like, no offense to Tubi, is like going to Walmart and going to like, I don't know if you have a Whole Foods where you're at, like where I'm at in the Midwest. Whole Foods is like the, fancy grocery store, right? That has, they're expensive and they don't have all the stuff that Walmart has, right? But they have the good stuff, right? The high quality meats and all that stuff versus, your Walmart's. You're like, man, how long has this been this has been here for 3 years? So yeah. Anyway, as I get off my soapbox, definitely see side eye on the plot breakdown though. Not sure it'll be the best watch. Which one are you talking about, Silver? Tyrene, I went to an Alamo Draft House Creed tonight. Have you ever been? That is so funny, Tyrene. I don't know if you're talking still here. So when I saw Creed last week, it was the first time I went to an Alamo Draft House. They just built one here in Missouri, or St. Louis, Missouri, a couple months ago. And I just went to one and I experienced it for the first time. Now I didn't do the whole experience where I didn't buy anything, because I'm not one of those people that go to the theater and want like a full course meal while I'm eating the movie. I'll do that at home in the comfort of my own home. But when people are eating like full course meals at a movie theater, it's number one, it's kind of dark in there. And I don't know, it's a lot going on in the smells. But anyway, my experience was great. I'll just say that it's a cool theater. They got movie posters. They got, clean restrooms, clean seating, comfortable seating. So yeah, I really enjoyed Alamo Draft House, and I hope to go back soon. So let me know your experience, man. Let me know what you thought about Alamo. Did you get some ribs? Did you get something to eat? The Breakout is a classic to me. What's The Breakout? Or are you talking about The Breakup? Or I don't know. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Zia. If you're talking about The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn, I totally agree with you. But I don't know what The Breakout is. Let me know. Yes, he is great at doing that. 100%. Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox were the only ones who got beyond the show. Yep. Did things while that was with David Arquette, but David Schwimmer was Ross. Yeah, he kind of fell off for a bit. I know he was doing. Did he do Madagascar? He was voicing Madagascar, like the one of the animals. He did a couple other stuff, but yeah, all the other actors never really took off like those two did. So yeah, The Breakup. Okay, that's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, Darrell. Yes. I'm just catching up here. So we're like 20 minutes behind these comments, but I'm catching up. Yeah, thank you. Right. It's like, listen, I'm good at movie trivia, man. But when you're live, you're hosting a show, you're pulling up things, you sometimes forget things. So thank you for being understanding. And I will admit, I do have a bad memory sometimes, but I'm pretty good at movie trivia, names and actors and directors. Adam Sandler really redeemed himself with funny people. Oh man, that was such a good movie. You said redeem himself. Was he on a bad run during that time? What was that? Was that during the yeah, he did have a couple bats. Yeah, you're right. You were right. Now I think about it, you are so right, Maxine. He did have quite a few. Jeez, was that the time when he had the movies with his friends, and then he had like that movie where he was playing himself. Let me pull up, my man. And listen, I love Adam Sandler. This is a childhood, I'll forever talk positively about Adam Sandler just because, again, Billy Madison, Wedding Singer, Waterboy, Big Daddy, like those to me was on constant rotation when I was a kid. Punch Drunk Love is a great film. Mr. Deeds, I have a lot of fun with. So to your point, Maxine, let me see. Before we get to Funny People. Ooh, you might be right, Maxine. Ooh, some of the stuff he was like had cameos in. Okay, so here. So before we got to that film, we had 51st Dates, which I enjoyed. Spanglish is a good movie. Longest Yard is okay. Click. Hold on. Click is really good, Maxine. Click is in 2006. That was 3 years before Funny People. I love Click. That film makes me cry every time. Rain Over Me, 2007. I pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Don't mess with the Zohan. Look, I got a soft spot for that film. It's stupid as hell, but I got a soft spot for it. Bedtime Stories. I gotta disagree. See, like I said, you got Spanglish, you got Rain Over Me, you got Click, all within 3 years. So yeah. Now, by all accounts, if you didn't see those films, then you might think, yeah, I'll pronounce you Chuck and Larry, some of these other films. But no, I think he had a good run prior to Funny People, and then after that is when he had Grown Ups, Just Go With It, Zookeeper, Jack and Jill, That's My Boy, Hotel Transylvania. I actually like those films. Grown Ups 2, Blended. What's top 5? Oh, is that Chris Rock special? Which, by the way, are you all excited about Chris Rock's live special on Netflix? I forgot to bring that up in the rundown. I might check it out. I'm not the biggest Chris Rock fan as far as his new comedy in the last, in the late 2000s, but we'll see. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, he's got some. He does what he loves. Let's see. Pedro is having. Okay, this is the question about Jonathan Majors or Pedro Pascal, who's having a better year. Pedro is having a better year. Majors still gets crap from his. What? Oh well, yeah. I don't know much about the facial features. What are people saying about his facial features? As far as I know, men and women are dropping the draws for this man. So I didn't hear about his facial features, but the magazine thing, yeah, I heard about that, which is ridiculous, ridiculous. Acting is always on point, though. Yeah. Let me know if I'm missing something, Maxine. What are people saying about his face? Like I said, from what I know, both men and women are goo gaga over Jonathan Majors' face, neck, biceps, or the whole nine, as far as I know. But then, yeah, the magazine stuff was ridiculous, man. Like, come on, man. Love Jonathan Majors with Pedro. Maybe top of maybe 2 for 2 from. Yeah. If we're doing and Jonathan Majors has another film coming out later this year, but if we're basing The Last of Us performance as Joel, and what we're gonna get with Mando versus Kane the Conqueror and Damien, that's a tough one, man. They're both great, man. 2 hell of a years for both of them. I would lean towards Pedro, but Jonathan is having a pretty bigger growth of his career. Yeah, that's another thing, not to bring in age, but Jonathan Majors is in a much better position from a career standpoint than when Pedro was when he was in his 30s, right? And Pedro talks about this a lot in interviews, man. He's had a career. He's been around since the 90s, bro. Like he was on Buffy at one point, like as an extra. Oh, not an extra, but he was like a quick little vampire in that show. And he's been building out his career. Obviously, Narcos really brought that to form. And then, of course, from Game of Thrones fans, he was great as the Viper in those seasons. And I think he had he was out for a little bit, and then he came back, obviously, with the Mandalorian, and it's all she wrote from there. But no, he's great, man. But no, to go back to my point, though, I think that Jonathan Majors at this point of his career is a little bit more of a household name than when Pedro was. They do. And listen, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel, Disney, Mandalorian, hey, Pedro, you want to play a guy on a bike by the name of Ghost Rider? Or, hey, you want to play, any other one of our marvelous characters, King and whoever he plays? So you never know. And then plus outside of Marvel, they can work together. So we'll see. Your Honor. Yep, that's another. Is that Showtime, Andrew, if I'm not mistaken? And I mean, it's Bryan Cranston, man. It's Return to TV. So, that's Walter White. 0 Inches in Westworld. Tarian says, remember when shows back in the day had food? Yeah, man. Isn't they still doing that? Like on network TV, don't they still do like 15, 18 episodes? Yeah, that was rough, man. That was rough. It's a lot of filler episodes with those shows on when they had crazy, crazy, crazy. But we used to get some good ones back in the day, like in the 90s, right? It was always the episode of the week, the lesson of the week on the Cosbys or whatnot. But yeah, man, back in the day. Shout out to my man Kenny with the 499 super chat. Apologies for missing the Last of Us watch along. Oh no, you don't gotta apologize, man. I appreciate you, Kenny, and I'm excited to see you this week, man. But no need to apologize. Thank you so much for the super chat and for all the support you bring to the channel, man. So I appreciate you, Kenny. Silva, what you got here? What we got? Silver says, took my favorite characters though. So I don't know what I'm returning for. Which help me out, Silver. What were we talking about at that point? Taking out your favorite characters. Returning for. Let me know, Silver, if you're still here. Which show you were talking about? Yeah, From. Thank you, man. Travelers. What's that? Travelers was the best show ever. What is that, man? Travelers. I gotta look it up. Dominique Fishback. Oh, was that speaking of Apple TV Plus? Am I right, Maxine? That was the Apple TV Plus show with Sam Jackson, right? Yeah, that series was slept on, and I was one of the sleepers. I had the screeners. I slept on it, Maxine. I slept on it. I gotta admit, I gotta go back and check it out if you're saying it's good. Which I mean, Sam Jackson TV. Come on now. Dominique and him, some other good actors too. So yeah, I might have to go back and check that. Batman was another level. It's hype from. Yeah, I mean, listen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what's up, Justin. Dark Knight. Always, baby. There he is right there. Yeah. I'm so excited for the Batman 2. I'm so excited for the Brave and the Bold. Ooh. Quick DC talk. Who is the next Batman? Let me know in the chat. All 32 of you all. Who do you want to see play the next Batman who's probably going to be a little bit older because he's going to be the daddy of Damian? Who do you want to see? I've seen the Jake Gyllenhaals of the world, but if they're going at that, older Batman, Josh Brolin was going to be Batman for Ben Affleck. So, there's that. John Hamm's name has been in the works for a while, but who do you guys want to see as the next Batman? If they go that old, I'm thinking if I'm DC and James Gunn, I want to build out this universe, and it looks like, exploring the Bat family. Batman can't be in his 50s, bro. That's a lot of. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. But let me know who you guys want to see as Batman and who you want to direct Batman, the Brave and the Bold. For me, I mean, of course, Ben Affleck's up there, and they can work his script some way, somehow into that new film, because with Damian being in the mix, if you all know that story, Ra's al Ghul, and Deathstroke taken out. Ra's al Ghul and Damon has some vengeance, so they can somehow work Deathstroke into the Brave and the Bold. So Ben Affleck is up there. If the Flash is as good as I think it's going to be, Andy Muschietti wouldn't be a bad bet, especially him handling two Batmans, at least for now that we know of two Batmans with Ben Affleck's Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman. So he seems to be a Batman fan, Andy Muschietti. Let me throw out a wild card. Going to Deathstroke. If y'all remember, Joe Manganiello was partnered to be working with the gentleman, is it Garrett Edwards, who did The Raid? He was supposed to do the Deathstroke film, so I wouldn't be mad if he got back on board, because if you've seen The Raid, you want that man directing those action sequences with the Batman. He's also just a great director in general. So I wouldn't be mad if they picked him. And then, is there another wild card? Some good directors out there, man. I don't know, but I can't wait. Yeah, Justin, this slept on for sure, bro. I love Apple TV Plus. All right, Eric, you have a good night, man. I need to peace out, folks. Have a great stream, Ellie. Always great chatting with you and everyone in the chat. Yeah, man. It's always great seeing you, Eric. Have a good night, man. Netflix is Disney on streaming. Yeah. Too much noise. Yes, it's too much, man. It's intimidating. I don't even like going on Netflix. If I don't know what I'm watching, I don't even click on Netflix, because it's just like I'm gonna end up being on there scrolling for 3 hours. I'm saying not. Wonder Discovery is setting itself to be sold up. That's the word around town, man. That's the word around town. All art isn't meant to be consumed by everyone, really. Some art isn't meant to be consumed at all, and only made for the sake of experience. Yeah, what's that, man? I was talking about this other movie. I already forgot what it's called. Well, the whole based on plot. Okay, this is Creed 3. Tyrion, a little early sneak peek before he drops this review. I loved it. I got some. You got a chicken Caesar salad, and yes, the theater is clean. Yeah, man, I love a clean theater, bro. It's so many of them that's just dirty and just gross, and it's just like I don't even want to watch this movie anymore because I'm just you take a bath when you get home. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed Alamo. And next time I go, I'm not a big eater at the theater, but I might have to. I don't know, maybe I'll order like because I got there, it was a screener, so like I got there on time and like I wasn't hungry, like I said, I don't really eat, but maybe next time I go, I'll get there earlier and order something before the film starts. We'll see. Funnel cake is my go. Oh, nice. Like to me, that's like too heavy. If I eat, it's popcorn and that's it, right? Because I don't want, man. Funnel cake is fire. I love funnel cake, by the way. But yeah, I believe Yellow Dragon season 2 comes out. Yeah, it does. It does. Like I said, I didn't bring it up because I haven't seen the first season. So if I were to bring it up, I wouldn't even know who, what, where, and why for the breakdown. Blackbird was that's another. See, so many good ones. That was your boy Taron Egerton was in that, and the Paul Weiser. Yeah, I heard it was really good. No, this season 2, is it? Did they announce that? Yeah, like I said, I've seen a couple people bring up Your Honor throughout the stream and throughout different times. So, and I heard season 2 is a lot better than season 1. Yeah, What I Sing is a classic. Yeah, it is. 51st Dates. Yep. Some bangers, man. I'm telling y'all, Adam Sandler is that dude. As far in my eyes, he's a great actor and great comedian. It's a great movie. It's a great movie, and he had a great movies. And then as we went over it, yeah. What's your favorite one? Big Daddy's my favorite one. Oh man, I love Big Daddy. Come here, Julie. Oh man, that's such a good movie. I love Big Daddy. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't. It was only like one or two specials I liked Chris Rock. I don't really find him that funny, but I know he works for a lot of people, not me. The Water Boys, yeah. The Replacements, yeah. He's got some bangers, man. There you go. Let's see. The magazine thing is the one I'm looking like a flamingo. The magazine thing. Oh yeah. The magazine shoot. Yeah, when he's looking. Apparently, and I don't watch a lot of anime, but apparently that photo shoot was inspired by a popular anime. So, and yeah, man, it's like what people just complain about anything these days, and his masculinity is in question. Like what? Come on, man. He'll steal anyone's girl in 2 seconds, man. So yeah, it's like come on, people. Major's is fine. People will be. Yeah. Okay. So that's what you're talking about. Coming for his nose. Listen. As a fellow big nose mofo, shout out to the big nose, man. We can smell it all a mile away. So, nah, I didn't know that was a thing about him. And if I mean, it's like, it's so cool. I remember seeing him for the first time, man, and seeing him in Lovecraft, and just, I love seeing all of our Black beautiful faces on TV, especially when you have someone as a fellow, I guess big noser, as you may call. But no, shout out to Jonathan Majors, man. He's doing his thing. Oh, better get off his nose. It's perfect. There you go. Shout out to Men here. I'll catch a replay, but you do have 3 shows that you recommend. Genre doesn't matter. Oh, so do you have 3 shows? What currently on TV or like of all time? That's. Let me see. Let me go to. I don't know if we're doing all time. Well, not all time. That's a long list, but I don't know. I'll throw out random shows right now. If I always get the opportunity, I always let people know. Watch Dark on Netflix. You won't be disappointed. 3 seasons of masterfulness. Leftovers. The Leftovers on HBO. Damian Lindelof, Justin Theroux, Connie Kuhn. Is that her name? Anyway, Regina King. She was in season 2. I can't talk enough about The Leftovers. Very underrated HBO show. 3 seasons of another masterful show. And then throwing something in the random ether. So we got dark sci-fi. We got a drama show with leftovers with a little bit of mystery. So let me give you, let's see, comedy, horror. I'll give you a horror show, and I'll give you The Outsiders. El Cuco on HBO. Look it up. Ben Mendelsohn, Cynthia Erivo. It's a great show. So, Dark, Leftovers, and The Outsiders. As far as current shows, obviously Leftovers. I love Servant and Succession. There you go. So there's some recommendations for you. If you haven't watched those shows, get on it. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Haters gonna hate. Majors keeps making moves. Yeah, he's great, man. And as far as I know, he probably doesn't even hear this noise. I don't think the man even has a social media account. So he's living his best life right now. You like that, Silver? A guy on a bike named Ghost Rider. Yep. There you go. Pedro Pascal. Oh, that's what you were talking about earlier, Silver. Westworld. Got you. Yeah, I didn't even have any favorite characters to even care about after that first season. Also, my favorite show, Spartacus, is getting a sequel series. Oh, really? It's getting a sequel series by the same. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. I never got into Spartacus, but I heard it was a really good show, and I know there was some unfortunate stuff that went on behind the scenes. That one of their actors unfortunately passed away, and then they did a spinoff, and they tried to bring him back, and it never really picked up the same amount of steam it had when it was on. So that's cool, man. That's really cool. Vince Vaughn's. Thank you for the LOL. I'm gonna say Vince Vaughn. I love him. He ain't no Bruce Wayne or no Batman, but yeah. The Dark Knight Rises. What about The Dark Knight Rises? Bane, one of the greatest villains of all time. Yeah, he's there. He's up there. Get George Clooney back? Hell no. And there was that rumor for a couple weeks there, or a couple days at least, a couple weeks ago. Dumpster fire, DC. Listen, we've talked, Justin. We've talked. DC's coming. We coming hard. We Justin, how you gonna say that? And look at your icon. Look at your icon, bro. And one of those announcements was the Green Lanterns. So come on, Justin. Come on, man. I think they're gonna change your tune. I think it's gonna first start, Justin, next year. I think Creature Commandos is gonna be kind of that hit, that's a sleeper hit like Peacemaker was, in my opinion. And then I think we're gonna also get the Waller series next year. I think they've secretly, not secretly, but I think they're gonna get those shows in production, and we're gonna get both of those shows next year. And then just in 2025, it's off and running. Superman Legacy. I know it's Elseworld, but it's still in the DC banner. Batman. And also, hold on, next year is also the Joker too. I don't give a damn if it's a musical, if it's a silent film, Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga, it's going to be good. I'm telling y'all here now, it's going to be good. I don't care if it's a musical, if it's Singing in the Rain meets the Joker and Harley Quinn. I don't know how this film is going to be bad. I don't know. I mean, it could be, but I don't think it will be. So, Justin, DC is here. DC is here, my friend. Hey, what's going on, Real? What up? Pedro Pascal or Jonathan Majors, the new Batman or Bond? Are you which one would I? Are you asking me which one would I pick if I would have? Oh man, I would. Geez, that's a tough one. Because honestly, I can see Jonathan doing both of those really well. I don't know if I can see Pedro as Batman. He would probably be a good, interesting Bruce Wayne, but I can't see him as Batman. But I can see Jonathan Majors doing both. So I guess I would do Jonathan as Batman and Pedro as Bond if I had to choose. That being said, Josh Hartnett as Batman. Not bad. He's making a comeback too, like I mentioned earlier, with Operation Fortune, which was a good movie. That's coming out Friday. I can see. I don't. It's been a while, man, but I know Josh Hartnett. He has it in him. He's a great actor. I don't know if I see suave. I don't see a billionaire with Josh as the Bruce Wayne persona. You have to draw a line for sure. The one I really like is Jansen Eccles. I like that one a lot. That's the one I would be really on board with. Jamie Dornan. Jamie. Oh, 50 Shades. Well, I know he's done other good stuff, but 50 Shades of Grey guy. Yeah, he has the jaw. He's played a billionaire with the character that he played in 50 Shades. So, and I know he's done other things besides 50. He's a great actor. I've seen him in some really good stuff. So that's not a bad pick either. He's kind of short though. He's kind of short, but movie magic, right? Netflix has had some good properties and just needs to invest in the right ones. Yeah. Didn't the CEO of Netflix quit recently? So hopefully we get some new blood in there that can focus on the quality. Yeah, have a good night, man. Till servant. I'll see you on Friday. I'll see you on Thursday into Friday. Bit of a rat problem. What's going on? And NYC theaters are having a bit of a rat. That's crazy. Can you imagine watching a movie and a rat just crawling on your foot while watching it? That's crazy. Oh, he's from One Piece. Is that what that character's from? That he dressed up from? Gotcha. Definitely seen Creed without my husband. Nice. But yeah, honey, I'm just going to the mall for a couple hours. I'll be back. All right, I think I'm caught up. I think. And I don't know if you all were here at the beginning of the stream. I was like, man, we're gonna be structured. We're gonna do like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And this is where the SpongeBob meme come up. 3 hours later. No, man, I love chopping up with you. I love going live and talking movies and shows. It's always a good time. But we're gonna probably wrap it up here. So any final comments, questions, let me know before we wrap it up. And again, if you all were here at the beginning of the stream or popping in the middle or whatever the case may be, I appreciate y'all. If you haven't, sometimes I'm guilty of it, man. I'll be watching some of my favorite content creators just be having a good time, and I forget to hit the like button. So don't do that to your boy. Hit the like button now. Just a friendly reminder. If you're enjoying the content, if you enjoyed today's breakdown, share, appreciate that. Leave your thoughts in the comments if you're watching the replay. And again, I'm going to probably try to piece out those 2 sections of what I watched in February and my rankings, and then obviously break up the rundown of all the new stuff and probably release those in the coming days. And as far as in the coming days, we got a lot of stuff to look forward to. So yeah, man. Abbott and Elementary and The Last of Us. Was that the favorite stuff you saw from last month? Nice. I need to catch up on Elementary. I heard that show is hilarious. I need a good comedy show in my life. You're talking to Leftovers is fan freaking tastic. Finale was you're talking this is why we get along, man. Besides Cocaine Bear, disagreeing there. Yeah, Leftovers is great, man. Leftovers is so great. Justin saying, are you excited for Mike Flanagan making what, Justin? I didn't hear that, bro. So this is my live reaction of that. Yeah, sign me up, man. I love Mike Flanagan is a legend. Oculus, Dr. Sleep. His TV work is just phenomenal. The house, the Haunting on Hill House, Bly Manor, Midnight Mass. So great. I didn't like his most recent show with the teenagers. That show got canceled. It wasn't terrible. It was just out of all his work, it was my least favorite. But no, I did not know that he's doing. I do know he did a deal with Amazon, but I didn't know that was going to be one of his first projects. So that is dope, man. And I've never read Dark Tower. I didn't see the movie that came out either. Even though it had some of my favorite actors with Idris and Matthew McConaughey. But I hear that it's one of Stephen King's. It's a big book, man. It's like it. It's so much to go on with that story, and apparently it's like other little stories within the story. So. But no, I did not. And didn't they do Dark Tower a couple years ago, Justin? But it didn't do that well on like ABC or CBS, like Alexander Skarsgård. I think I know why I didn't do well, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Justin, they had Amber Heard and Ezra Miller in the cast, and that was right in the heat of when a lot of that crazy stuff was going on with both of them. So I don't know if that affected the ratings, but no, I did not know that, man. So that is dope, man. That is dope. I love Mike Flanagan. I love it. I was just so disappointed in Batgirl. They did Leslie wrong. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not in Hollywood, but obviously the saying is it happens in Hollywood, man. It's a lot of films that unfortunately get canceled. I mean, obviously was a much bigger situation because it's a $90 million film. It was attached to a big IP like Batman with Batgirl, so it is unprecedented. But I mean, based on all the stuff that, and again, I didn't see the film, so I can't speak on the quality. But based on what a lot of insiders were saying and a lot of the people that made the decision were saying, of course they're gonna say it's bad because they don't want to make their decision look bad. But apparently, it wasn't that good of a movie. But hopefully James Gunn, Peter Safran can find something to do with Leslie and those directors of the Bad Boys and Miss Marvel directors, and they got Bad Boys 4 coming out. So hopefully they can partner up with them again to kind of make up for that decision that Zaslav and them did. So, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, yeah. I'm look. It's a musical, and I think the musical element of Joker 2, Fele du Roi, whatever it is the whole idea. I think it's going to be like either Arthur's going to see his romance with Harley as a musical, or it's going to be the reverse. I don't think it's going to be like an actual musical, but I think in some of the scenes they're going to be in their head and creating this fantasy, as we saw with the first Joker. Like he made up the whole thing with him and Zazie Beetz, and a lot of the stuff in that film is he's a unreliable narrator. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good film. I don't know if it's gonna be better than the first, but I mean, come on, Joaquin Phoenix isn't just doing anything, right? He's already well off. He's a top tier actor. He doesn't just take things for a check. So I think there was something in the script that spoke to him. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're paying him the big bucks to come back, but I think he has enough integrity to put his name, just not put his name attached to anything. Let's see. Yeah, if I saw a rat crawling on me or just in the vicinity of me in a theater, it's just not nice. Dylan's too short. Is he? Is he? Isn't he 6 feet? Or am I tripping? Let's see here. This has been a great chat. Love these. Always chill time. Yeah, it's always I try to keep it cool, chill. You know what I'm saying. So I'm glad you all are liking it. Smash that like button. Yeah. Thanks for the good time, bro. Are you gonna be covering Mando season 3? You probably already mentioned it, but I didn't. No, I didn't mention it. Great question though, Kenny. We'll see. Because as a content creator, you got to have those things where you got to look in yourself in the mirror and just realize, hey, the algorithm, the audience, it's just not what people are looking forward to on your channel. And whenever I've covered Star Wars on my channel, and I've covered the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, I covered Andor, the first 3 episodes of Andor, I've covered Boba Fett, literally everything that Disney has put out, the Disney shows, and it's just for whatever reason, again, whether it's algorithm, whether it's maybe people just don't like my opinion on Star Wars, or whatever the case may be. It just the numbers don't support me covering the show. I'll just say that. But with that said, Kenny, the benefit of something that I added to the reservoir, to the arsenal, to the tool belt in the last year or so is the shorts. So, I do that with, some movies and shows, and I might do that with The Mandalorian, where when I watch the episode, I'll do a quick, minute review or whatever, and maybe do a couple other videos attached to it or whatever. But I don't know if I'm going to actually do like full length reviews or live streams. I haven't seen the return in the time on those Star Wars projects. So, but we'll see, man. We'll see. But thanks for the question, my friend. Oculus was a really fun. Yeah, Oculus is a really good movie. It's a really good movie, man. He's just fantastic. He's a great director. He knows how to do horror really well, and family and drama and characters. He's great. Is that a quote from the Dark Tower? All wrong. All right. Apparently, Aquaman is worse. Apparently Aquaman is worse, but still getting the release side eye, DC side eye. Yeah, but I mean, Aquaman, it was a proven track record, right? It was $1 billion movie, 1.1 billion to be exact, and some change. So versus Batgirl wasn't an established IP. I mean, it's an established character to a certain extent. Obviously, Aquaman's a little bit more of a household name, but yeah, I don't think that they would be writing off any tax write-offs for a $200 million plus film with Aquaman, plus it following up from $1 billion movie. So a little bit different, but I see what you're saying though. But as far as like, if people just made decisions based on screen testings, because again, the film wasn't finished, Batgirl. So it was all their whole thing of saying, oh, this film was gonna hurt the brand of DC. It is a bit of a stretch because again, it was the rough edit, right? So I get again, I don't want to make it seem I didn't like Batgirl. I'm glad they canceled it. No, I'm not like that. But again, just based on the stuff we've heard about it, and if they say it was bad, then they might have made the best decision. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. And hopefully again they can work with Leslie and other. Brendan Fraser was going to be the villain, and one of the first like trans actors was going to have a pivotal role. So it was a lot of stuff that was going to open the doors for a lot of different people. So that obviously sucks that we won't be able to see that iteration of the story. But hopefully, again, James Gunn, Peter Safran can get us a proper Batgirl film, especially with the Brave and the Bold. So, yeah. All right, y'all. I think that is it. I can't wait to see Marvel Secret Wars. Yeah. You? Yeah. Very excited. 2026, right? Or 2027. I can't remember. I know they pushed it back. I think it's 2026. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for Secret Wars. Or if you're talking about Secret Invasion, which will be coming out sooner, with Scrolls. But if you're talking about Secret Wars in a couple of years, hell yeah, I'm excited. Elliot, I'm editing my review of the reading right now. The reading. Oh, is that new Monique movie? I have to check out your review to see. I've seen some clips of it. It looks pretty funny. I heard Batgirl tested about the same. The first It movie, really? It was a slow moving hit. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. Again, test screenings. Like I said, I've attended a test screening, and yeah, man, you got to sometimes give the film a little bit of leeway if it's not fully edited and scenes aren't fully put together. But yeah. Secret. Okay, that's what I thought you referred to. Yeah, I'm very excited for both. But yeah, to answer your one question, yeah, I'm very excited for Secret Invasion. Apparently coming out in May, so right around the corner, a couple months from now. So yeah. Scrolls, Kree, Nick Fury, the Queen, Amelia Clark, Khaleesi coming back to TV. So yeah, I'm very excited for it on a lot of different levels. Okay, cool. That's what I thought you were talking about. But all right, y'all, it's been a fun time. I hope you have fun because I certainly did. Almost 3 hours of breaking down what I saw in February, what's coming out this month, answering your questions, and also shout out to all of you all, but a quick special shout out to, Hacker with the super chat, my man Behavior with the super chat, 60 plus reviews with the super chat, my man Kenny with the super chat, Mint showing some love, and again, everyone, even if you didn't give a super chat, thank you for tuning in tonight. Something that's free is a thumbs up, hitting that, leaving your thoughts in the comments, all that good stuff is all free of charge. So if y'all can do that, I really appreciate it. But again, shout out to all the wonderful supporters with the super chat tonight. I really appreciate it, y'all. So on that note, you all have been great. You are all awesome. You all have a great night. I'm going to watch Servant episode 8 before I can get the review out for you guys once the episode drops on Thursday. So that's my night. You guys have a good one. Real good night and stuff. Good. I'm glad you had a good time. Man, it's always good seeing you. I will see you for Servant. Always a blast. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, man. Hope you're doing good, my friend. It's always good seeing you. And Moonlight. All right. You guys be safe. Thank you again. We're going to outro this thing out with a little clip here. Well, not a clip, but a little click here, click there. Catch you next time.